my God, what's going on? Are we live?
I think you're live.
Are we live? Staying on. Staying on. Just kidding. Welcome, everybody, to You're Wrong, a show where, it tells you in the title, you're wrong. Unless you're talking about me. I am, in fact, 150% right. That may seem like, hey, it's a little high, but not as high as I am right now. Hello. Hello there. Yeah, this one was actually, I thought it was going to happen actually later. But then Taylor's like, no, it's going to happen earlier. I'm like, okay, well, not much notice to you guys, but hey, you know what? You can go back and watch it later if you're not here live. Feel bad for you if you're not here live, but you know.
They already knew it was going to happen today. They just didn't
Yeah,
know what
but
time.
they didn't know what time. I mean, that's 24 hours in a day. It's a lot of time. I mean, I know I ain't planning my shit around that. It's like, I need a specific fucking time. Like, what time you doing it, buddy? Can't give me a time? Well, fuck you. Expect me to show up, you don't even tell me when. It's like, say, like, it's more like a plan. Like, hey, that's gonna happen. Maybe I'll be there, maybe I won't. And it is Sunday, so a lot of people are probably just like, fuck that shit. Fuck this guy. Thinks he's better than us. Thinks he knows more than I do. Telling me I'm wrong. Well, fuck him. He's wrong. And they have every right to do that.
Please acknowledge Nico.
Nico? I don't even know who Nico is. Who's Nico?
But he says sup to you.
Does he?
He does. Look here.
Does he really?
He does. Look at him.
Does he really?
He really does. Look.
Truly,
Sir Scotty.
Truly, Sir Albert.
Are you from Cheapside?
You're from fucking Cheapside, are you?
Oh,
like,
God.
Like,
Truly, Sir Ulrich, you're from Cheapside. It's like, yes.
Yes, I am.
Of course.
It's like, what the fuck? Why don't you sound like you're from Cheapside then, bitch? Okay, well, you were.
Susie's been waiting for this all day. There are Tajika fans and polishers. What are Scotty fans called? Scottists, right?
Scottists.
I love it. It's true.
Crab people, crab people. So
It's Swegta.
What's up, Swigta? What's going on? Yeah, that is. You got me there. How am I supposed to time the edibles properly if I don't know what time the show's live? Yeah. I mean, look. I don't know what else to say to that, man. I mean,
sorry,
you got me there.
Pushed him to the limit.
You got me there. Like when it comes to copious drug use, I'm never gonna be on the side of not using drugs. Dude, I want you to share this first thing we're covering.
Are you fucking kidding me, Drew Burke?
Oh my, yeah,
Paulie
dude.
from The Sopranos died?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Tony Sirico is dead.
Oh, that's really sad. I just got finished.
Paulie Walnuts.
I just got finished watching The Sopranos, like what, maybe a month ago?
Yeah, Taylor had never watched The Sopranos before. We just watched it.
We watched it we watched it every night.
Yeah, dude, Paulie's such a great character in the show.
Paulie is great.
He's like, he's really that perpetual, like, never, he has respect within that organization, but he never really climbs very high. He's basically like a top foot soldier. He's like your top grunt. You know what I mean? Like, he's like a sergeant. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to get the men into line kind of thing. He has respect.
He reminds me of Donnie Brasco.
Yeah,
not Donnie Brasco, but
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino's character.
Lefty,
right.
Yeah, he is very much like that. Like, just very respected and known, but doesn't really ascend very high in the mafia. So he kind of survives based on that. 'Cause he's like, yeah, he's not a leader. So, and he doesn't really have leadership qualities, but he's still a great character. The guy was a great actor. He actually, I know, was in fact involved in mafia. He was a stick-up man.
What's a stick-up man?
Like, he would go and rob nightclubs.
Oh, okay.
Like he would stick up places. Like, he'd go in there and like, give me all your money. He was involved in organized crime in New York City, and then of course, like, one of those guys, like, you realize, like, what am I gonna do? maybe I want to live. Maybe I want to have a full life. I actually want to make it to 79, which is how long he lived. So I want to make it that long. I probably should get into something else. And there's always Hollywood's always had a fascination with organized crime and the mafia. So, he had a lot of bit roles. He was actually in Goodfellas. I
Yeah,
remember
I do
that.
remember that.
Yeah, he's got a little role in that one. He just popped up in a lot of little things. He was not a big time actor, but I mean, it is sad to hear he died. And I mean, I knew, obviously Taylor did not know.
Yeah, I've deleted Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Well, not completely deleted, but I'm just not on it anymore. But I still find out the news, so whatever.
Let's see. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Praise unto thee, O Scoopy. We are but worms. I mean, I'm not going to argue. One, if not the funniest characters in the show. Tony Sirico had a crazy life too. He delivered a great performance despite not having much experience. Oh yeah, like, I mean, completely typecast, but he had that authenticity that a lot of people in those shows don't have. And like you can see it. It's like when certain people play cops. Like, here's an example. Like, you ever seen the movie Speed? Taylor, have you seen that movie?
I want you to guess.
No, you haven't seen it. A lot of people have seen Speed, which, but I'm not talking about the premise of Speed, which is like basically there's a fucking guy who's holding people hostage, but he's actually just really a mass murderer, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into the plot of it. But Jeff Daniels in that movie plays a cop, and he's not believable as a cop. Like, Jeff Daniels is just like, this guy's not a cop. Like, he's like a total Barney Fife fucking cop. Like, if there was one, a Keystone Cop. I mean, come on, he doesn't play that role well. And he was still in a big time movie. Speed's a huge movie, especially when it came out. So there's just certain people that don't have an authenticity to their roles. But he did. Tony Sirico definitely, like, when he was playing a mobster, he was actually really playing one. Like, some of these guys just like, hey, it's like they just put on an affectation, they act a certain way, but it's like, no, these guys are not really, like, they don't have that sense about them, of like a little bit of sense of danger. And Paulie had that, and then Tony Sirico, when he played that character, he really had that because he was volatile. There's sometimes he would just take things and be like, oh, okay, I'll just take it. And sometimes he would explode. And and when shit came down from high, he might argue a little bit, but then that meant as his character, like his character might go sulk and be like, oh, what am I gonna do? That's life, or you might go and fucking drive his fucking car over your lawn and threaten to kill you. You know what I mean? You never know. But he always had that danger to him. Kind of his best movie. Yeah, I mean, yeah, among them. I mean, I don't know if I would say it's his best, but he was great in that.
His best is Dracula.
Right. I know where the bastard sleeps. How can you have like Gary Oldman deliver like an amazing performance and having the guy opposite of him just like, I guess this is a British accent. I don't know. It's like, dude, he has about as much of a British accent as I do. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
He sounds like an exacerbated American.
And I love Keanu Reeves personally, but he can't do a British accent. I mean, I'm not saying I can't either, but damn, dude, you're being paid the big bucks. You should be able to fucking do it.
I just respect that in John Wick 3 when he was doing the horse scenes. And I showed you this, that he really took his time actually learning how to ride horses.
Oh yeah, he's a very committed actor.
Oh, he was very committed. But it's like a lot of these actors will just use the horses, like they'll ride them like they're riding a motorcycle or something, And the one that sticks out to me the most is Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
him riding horses is fucking tragic to me.
Yeah, he yanks on horses, basically.
He's yanking on their mouths. He's digging his heels into them, and he does some impressive stuff, but it's not because he can do it. It's because the horse is good.
He's like a hyper aggressive dude, though. You can just tell.
You don't need to be hyper aggressive with horses, though. It's fucked up.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
I hope
like,
he doesn't own any. Actually,
I mean, he's a rich fuck. He definitely does.
Gross.
I mean, like, what rich fuck doesn't take the opportunity to own a couple horses? What am I wrong about today? How about fucking everything, huh? Erotic whale. What am I wrong about today? Well, let's take a dart out, hit a bullseye. Everything. What am I wrong about? Everything. I'm pretty sure when a horse is a better actor than you. Yeah. That does happen, though.
You know what? I can pull it up real quick because it's fucking horrible.
What? You want to trash Sylvester Stallone on this show?
Fuck Sylvester Stallone.
How can you say that? Probably the most you ever watched. Have you ever seen Rocky, Taylor?
I watched it with you.
Oh, that's right. You hated it. You absolutely hated the
Oh
movie.
my god, here it is, dude. Fuck me. Hold on. Oh, this is so bad. Let me pull it over.
Unfortunately, it's a short, so you have to share the screen.
Let's see.
Are you sharing the screen? Okay, no, not that one. Yeah, there you go.
Let's do it. All right, y'all, watch this shit.
I'll take the comment off the screen. There you go. So what is he doing wrong? I mean, like
watch this. Look at the horse's mouth, bro. Let's see if we can blow this up a little bit.
But I'm asking you.
Nope.
You can't.
Nope, it won't blow it up. Okay, so I'll just show you. If you look at the horse's mouth, you can see that he just absolutely yanks on the reins. See this, look. So he's just kicking the horse, which is fine. I mean, the way he's doing it right there is okay. But then look at this. He just fucking fully yanks and then goes all the way down. You can see he pulls the reins down below his knees. So he's just yanking the horse's chin into his chest.
But isn't that probably how he's taught to do it?
I don't give a fuck what he was taught to do. He doesn't care. Look, he never pays attention to the horse. He's just like, look at me, I'm doing the shit. I hate it.
I mean, what I'm saying to you is that to the untrained observer, like it doesn't look like he's great on a horse, but also doesn't look like he's like horrible.
Let's see this one.
I'm getting dizzy.
Oh, wait a
It
minute.
looks like he just like is
All
very
right,
forceful.
So on the first one, you can see that he's number one, got his heel up. Absolutely incorrect.
Okay, why is that wrong?
Incorrect. Because you have to have your heels down.
Okay, so he's not. So basically, from his legs, from his feet up, so that's wrong.
That's completely incorrect.
So is he sitting wrong on the horse as well?
I mean, it looks like he's got a bow in his back right here, but that's not
major.
That's not major. But this right here.
So why is that
totally
bad though?
Well, because when you're riding, your heels are down. You basically, when you sit on a horse, your heel, you want to sit like your heels are going all the way down and touching the ground. Okay. And it's because of the way you have to carry your weight. So when you're standing on the ground, you carry your weight with the two pads of your feet.
Right.
But when you're on a horse, the majority of your weight needs to, you're trying to distribute the weight properly to not hurt the horse's back. But the reason why his heel's not being down as bad is because it's not safe for him.
Okay, so he's not even riding safely, is what you're saying.
Right, but also he's not distributing his weight correctly. He's also a big dude, but this horse looks like it's big enough to hold.
He's bulky, but he's not really tall.
See, did you see his other fucking his boot though?
Yeah, it's almost like it's about to come off.
So this one's okay, but he's got his toe pointed outwards, which is bad, because you don't have a good grip on there. But he's also riding Western, so it's. But you see, one heel is up, one heel is down.
Dizzy. Anyway, good Samaritan. It's a film that's probably going around January 15th.
He seems to be doing better than that one anyway. Anyway, that's just the point. That's just me saying it.
Yeah, because like honestly, like to me, I wouldn't even notice.
We sure this is practicing for Rambo and not Rhinestone?
Rhinestone. Oh man. Ugh. Ugh. And they didn't even have Dolly Parton be naked in that movie. The only thing that could have saved it.
That's a shame.
That's the only thing that couldn't even have like remotely convinced me to watch that fucking movie. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Help! Help! My brother's weirdly shaped head is causing a major rift in our family.
Scotty loves this one.
Why is it? Why is this the issue? I mean, did his mom make him into a cone head or something? How did this happen? Is he a waterhead? I just don't fucking know. I just don't know. I don't know how this could be. He blames my mother for a decision she made decades ago. Oh, was like,
Well, look at his head. It's a balloon.
I mean, yeah, it's fucked up. So did his mom like have him despite the fact, or like did they know he was gonna be looking fucked up or something? I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to guess here. I mean, I could of course just get the answer, but it's fun to speculate. Like, what is wrong with his fucking head? What do you think is wrong with his head before we read it?
Susie asked, "Did you write this about TJ?"
No, but I should have. I mean, he's a fucking melon head, dude.
Why is the Kaiser Anon writing stories about TJ in the National
I have
Press?
look. I have no comment on that. I have no comment. So,
All
Taylor,
right, so what is his weirdly shaped head?
why is it cause? Okay, no, not that he's a weirdly shaped head. Why is it causing a major rift in his family? Is it because he's like a waterhead or something? You know, he's like dumb. Is it
Well, it
because
says he's got a weirdly shaped head.
well, waterheads are weirdly shaped heads?
He blames my mother for a decision she made decades ago. I'm guessing the decision has to do with maybe he wore a helmet or something. I'm trying to think of ways that a head could be shaped weird.
Oh, someone wants to know something.
Scotty Taylor, please tell me, am I in fact wrong?
Yes, you are 100% wrong.
Judging
Judging
by your profile picture, I would say no, but
we have gone to the leading scientists in the world. They have conducted an empirical study based on the parameters of your reality, and they have determined, and this is just an incontrovertible, absolutely, positively just reality, the truth, the unvarnished truth that you are in fact wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know it's hard to take this. Every decision you make today is going to be wrong. And I'm sorry. But look, science has studied it. We asked some religious scholars to take a look over it. They like looked over the tomes and shit. They're like, oh, fuck, shit. Consulted every world religion, every possible religion. And they also said, you're definitely wrong. I mean, I don't know what else you want. Because science and religion holding hands on something, that's strange.
what do you think is the reason?
He said decades ago, so I'm guessing she had she knew his head was gonna be fucked up before he was born, and she did it anyways. So now it's like he's mad at life.
Somebody in the comment says maybe they survived an abortion.
Oh shit. I have returned. I have returned as well. If you're right about being wrong, then that makes you right, and therefore not wrong. But for you to be right, you're obligated to be wrong. Wrong. Because I'm just right about everything. That's how it works.
God, what is that called in philosophy? I was telling you about it before. A paradox. Duh. It's a paradox.
Yeah, it's a paradox, but there's no paradox here because I'm just right. Let's read it. Dear Prudence, I am really close with my half-brother. Same mom, different dads, 15 months apart. Even though he grew up 100% with our mom, and I spent half the time with my dad and stepmom. Back when we both had thick, longish dark hair, we did a large amount of consensual, respectful sleeping around.
Wait, wait with each other?
Yeah, I know. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Have to do. Okay.
So they slept around. You know, they did what they did. In our mid-20s, we both started losing our hair. Tragic. So we went ahead together to get our heads shaved. Cue the discovery that my bro has got one seriously weird-shaped skull. Damn, imagine not knowing for your whole life. You go in there and it's like, hey, buddy, your head's fucking weird. The fuck is wrong with you? Dude, this sounds bad. The barbers and other customers were laughing and giving him condolences. And he almost beat up a guy who took a pic. Oh, fuck, dude. He's like a sideshow. He's literally a sideshow. People are like, ah, look at that man's head. What's wrong with you? Oh, God, what's wrong with that motherfucker? Oh, man. Well.
How could it be that weirdly shaped, though? I mean, your hair isn't going to cover that much. You can still see your skull. How could you not know? I don't believe the story. Sorry.
I believe it.
I'm calling bullshit. I'm going to be Paul on this. I'm calling this as a work. Okay,
It's a work.
this is
Nope.
a work. There's no fucking way, dude. I've had long-ish hair my whole life, and I know what the fuck my skull looks like.
You didn't truly know. I believe it.
You can feel it. I mean, you can feel your fuck. You
Turns
can
out
part your hair. What? How weird is it?
he didn't know. Turns out
Bullshit. This is a
he
work.
was nope. It's not. Turns out he was born that way. And then our mom was even advised to get him one of those baby medical helmets to fix it,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
but never did. Oh shit, dude! His fucking mom. His mom could have got him a little helmet, a little cute baby helmet.
That's not what the helmet's for, though.
He could have got a cute little baby helmet and fixed his weird, misshapen head. His head's like one of those potatoes, where it's like it's too big, but then it gets too small. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Maybe I should fix it. Nah. He'll have long, luscious hair his whole life. No one will ever notice. So I've gone from a good looking dude with great hair to a good looking bald dude. That's a high opinion of himself.
Sure does.
Well, my brother has gone from a good looking dude with great hair to a weird looking bald dude. My attractiveness to women has not seriously diminished. Oh my God. His is sadly another story. What a fucking prick his brother is. I still get tons of women. I'm still quite attractive, just no longer have luscious long hair. My brother, though, disgusting. A misshapen potato on his head. I feel nothing but sadness for him. But of course, his is sadly another story. He's been depressed about it, and I sympathize. But he's been guilt tripping our mom like crazy about a decision she made more than a quarter century ago. I mean, yeah, the decision can't be undone. It happened 25 years ago. Like, the fuck are you gonna do at this point? You have a weird misshapen head. Maybe this dude could look into hair plugs or something. Like, he needs to go to the Bosley Clinic or whatever the fuck it is. He just needs to get
There's
some
that
hair
new
again.
medicine that I've been telling you about that was originally created for people with eczema.
Uh-huh.
And when these people would use the cream, they would end up growing back hair that they had lost.
I mean, there you go.
So there's all kinds of things coming out for people that have alopecia. So
Well, it sounds like it just says male pattern baldness.
that's alopecia.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing?
It's the exact same thing. Women have start losing their hair as they get older too, if they have it.
Well, why do they call someone? Why do they call it someone like going bald versus alopecia?
Because it's not as because alopecia will affect people that are really, really young too. But I mean, losing hair is not normal, no matter what age you are.
Really?
No,
I thought it was.
it's not. I mean, like we're used to it, right? But that's not a totally normal thing to happen. It's not like when you age, you lose your hair.
Well, your hair thins.
Your hair thins for sure, but like completely going bald, it's alopecia.
Damn. Sucks with those people. And I just found out he's trying to convince her to will her house 100% to him.
Fuck him.
Oh man, so I see the play here.
How's that gonna get your hair back?
It comes around full circle. No, this guy doesn't even he doesn't even care about that. I mean, he probably does to a degree, but he's trying to get the whole estate for himself. Instead of 50-50 between him and me, help make it up to him. I mean, he must have a seriously fucking misshapen head to be like, look, write my brother out of the will. Look what you did to me. Mom, look what you did to me, mama. Look what you've done. She points out he'll only be inheriting from her, and I'll be inheriting from both her and my dad. But my dad has a bunch of other kids, most with his wife. So I don't think that will make much of a difference. Do you think this is fair, or is my brother being a giant, whiny, greedy man-child? See, like, he's even said earlier, I sympathize. No, you don't. This is all about money. I mean, the way you read about your brother, the way you're talking about him. And in fairness to you, I mean, you're both greedy fucks. You know, he's just like, look, Mama, look what you did. You could have made my head look normal, but now I look all deformed and weird. You should give me 100%, not him. So ultimately, like, the money is the root of all evil, and it fucking rears its ugly head again, doesn't it? This is all about money. I mean, him going bald is, I mean, it's part of it, but it's like life goes on. Like, how old is he? I mean, like, like, look, he can't find one woman likes his bald ass. I mean, like, how
Well,
is
it's not
it?
just bald, weirdly shaped head.
I mean, he's got a weirdly shit, but wear a fucking hat.
Yeah, be a dude that wears beanies. That's your thing.
Yeah, just become a Tim Pool. Just hang out. Just become a right wing grifter. Just say whatever you need to say. Tell people whatever they need to hear, and always have a beanie on your head. And if like the woman goes take the beanie off, you just go like, you never do that. It's like, look, you can't do that. I was in a horrible fire.
Never touch my beanie.
I was in a horrible fire. Burned my scalp. Can't let my scalp be exposed to too much light. So just leave this beanie on at all times and never look at my head.
Coolman says, I've heard going gray earlier is a sign of not going bald. I hope so, because I've started to get gray hairs. They're kind of silvery, actually.
You have like one or two.
Stop. That is me starting to get them, right?
Not necessarily.
Would you agree that I have multiple silver hairs?
Both
My
these
dad,
people-
my dad grayed early, and so did my mom. So it makes sense that I would.
Yeah, that is kind of weird because my mom is actually older than both of your parents and is not gray.
Right, but my dad's hair is completely silver, and he's 52. And then my mom just turned 50, and she's about halfway silver.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, she doesn't have enough to really show anybody. It's like
they're in my bangs, and they are bright silver though, so they're pretty cool. Taylor's going to look like the old witch from Pumpkinhead by the end of it, Scotty.
Oh shit, dude.
What does she look like?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. And that motherfucker threw some serious shade at you, Taylor.
What the fuck? Oh man. What is this?
Pumpkinhead.
She's got some cool hair though.
Go to that one.
That one?
No, above it. There you go. You look like this, Taylor.
Fuck.
This does look like someone that would get you in with Pumpkinhead, though. I will say that.
Who is Pumpkinhead?
What? Taylor, are you joking?
I've heard y'all talk about it, but I don't know who or what a Pumpkinhead is. I'm guessing he's got a pumpkin for a head. Is he a...
Okay, go look up Pumpkinhead now.
Oh, okay.
It shows you how many episodes of Taylor's that she's watched of our episodes, because Pumpkinhead was also in the Tournament of Terror.
No, I watched the Tournament of Terror. I just don't...
That's
is
Pumpkinhead.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have a pumpkin head. This is a fucking lie.
The movie monster. The spirit of vengeance.
His head is not a pumpkin. He's got like these bat wing nubs.
Dude, Pumpkinhead does some crazy shit in the fucking movies. Some
He's
crazy.
a revenge monster.
Yeah, this guy's son basically, see that guy there? His son is killed by these like teenagers. They're like riding a dirt bike and they hit his son. He's like a shop owner in this town. And of course, like he wants vengeance. So he gets it. He's like, hey, if you go basically to this old witch that lives in the swamp, you can rise up Pumpkinhead. And when Pumpkinhead comes after you, it's not any fun.
Can't believe you never watched Pumpkinhead. I can't believe that Scotty can't believe I haven't seen Pumpkinhead. That's what I can't believe.
Well, like I think I've watched it around you before.
I'm not a movie person. I like to watch documentaries and shit.
Documentaries.
Documentaries.
All right. We're not here to talk about Pumpkinhead though, so yeah, that was the one I wanted to say for this one, but
Okay, let's move on.
that was just a strange one.
All right, so Scotty wanted to talk about the movie industry ratings.
So how many F-bombs trigger an R rating? An obscure movie industry panel decides. Let's scroll down here.
CARA, the Classification and Rating Administration, is an independent division of the Motion Picture Association.
That assigns film ratings.
Right. The team at CARA is responsible for screening around 700 films a year. Some rules determine how many F-bombs can be used before a film must be classified as R.
The censorship, I mean, the ratings board.
How many F-bombs can a movie have before it's rated R? That's up to Kelly McMahon and a secretive panel of raters that is charged with dishing out the movie industry's 5 all-important designations: G, PG, PG-13, R, and the extremely rare NC-17. Though it toils in relative obscurity, the panel's ratings for about 700 movies each year can help determine whether films are suitable for children and have a big impact on a movie's box office performance.
Yeah, so for example, why NC-17 is extremely rare is because a lot of places they will not screen NC-17 movies. So if it comes back from the MPAA or the MPA that, hey, your movie's going to get NC-17 rated, most studios will go recut it to get an R rating, which is not saying, so it's like,
And then
Oh,
they do unrated
yeah.
DVD releases.
oh, it's not censorship though, because you can leave it in. They're just going to rate it NC-17, but that kills the box office potential for it, which is why most mainstream films tend to be PG-13. Now, occasionally R, if they just don't, there's just no way to make that work, like Deadpool or something. That's going to be an R-rated
What
movie.
was Thor rated as?
Thor: Love and Thunder, almost certainly PG-13.
I will say that it seems like they have started to bring back what PG-13 means, because there was quite a bit of cussing in that. Not that I fucking care, but it just seemed like they were able to get. I mean, they were talking about orgies in the movie. I don't want to spoil too much, but
One of the group's rules, for instance, says the F-bomb can be used as an expletive just once in a film rated PG-13, which means suitable for people 13 and older. And look, some films have used this to great effect. Like where they they get one fuck. They can drop one fuck in the movie, and they'll have a character deliver like a great line where a scene will end right and they'll say it like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? It's like, oh. And so some movies have done that well. But also, it's like, why does it matter how many times they say the fucking word fuck? Why does that have this profound impact on a movie being rated PG-13 or R? It's just a word. So yet again, it's just censorship in another form. Used more than once as an expletive, and it gets kicked to R, said McMahon. Fascist, chair of the Classification and Rating Administration, a Los Angeles-based division of the Motion Picture Association. Fucking can't stand them. Warner Brothers, The Batman, for example, has a lot of profane dialogue. I wouldn't call it that, including use of the word shit, bitch, and asshole. But it only used the F word once,
did it really? I don't even remember it.
allowing it to remain PG-13. I'm sure it did. There are exceptions, usually when the word is just repeated in a short time or used as part of an emotional scene, McMahon said. But in any movie with more than 3 F-bombs, likely couldn't remain PG-13, she said. Thank you.
Oh, Coleman Scott, I do remember this. The most memorable one to me is Beetlejuice saying, "Nice fucking model."
Yeah, that is
When
true.
he kicks. Yeah, we watched that with young people. And when that came up, I'm like, I can't believe this said fucking what? I couldn't remember that it did. Anyway.
Yeah, it
it's
always
cool.
shocks you, especially in a movie like that.
Yeah, it does. Nice fucking
You're like,
model.
what did they just say? Let's see. So where are we at? Yeah. So, and if the word is used to signify sex, sex, we can't have sex, the film automatically gets an R rating. Well, of course, if you say like, let's fuck, if you just say like, fuck, then maybe if it's like, well, it's really emotional.
If you stub your toe and say fuck, it's one thing, but
If you say down to fuck, automatically an R rating. And of course, that affects the box office performance because then kids can't see the movie. If it's rated R, kids can't watch it. They still do, but they're not supposed to.
You and I have definitely seen children in R-rated movies.
Yeah. To protect the integrity of the screening process, as if there was any to begin with, 6 of Kara's 10 members are cloaked in anonymity. Oh, great. So the censorship panel is anonymous. All the better. But in an interview with CNBC, McMahon peeled the curtain back on how the group factors in nudity, violence, and other elements to assign ratings for movies, including blockbusters like Paramount and Skydance's Top Gun Maverick, and streaming titles like Netflix's Spiderhead. So basically, like, the industry can set whatever standards they want. The industry controls the sport. It does 100%. You think these companies are going to fucking make movies and spend billions of dollars on entertainment projects and have the fate left up to like some anonymous people? It's a bunch of soccer mom types, honestly, because we're gonna check something out that actually covers what the MPA
Yeah, look
does.
at this. It's made up of full-time, part-time employees who don't have any other relations to the entertainment industry. To be selected, candidates must have a child between the ages of 5 and 15. So I guess I could do ratings.
You could.
Most members serve for around 7 years or until their youngest child reaches the age of 21. We strive for a diverse group of raters in terms of race, gender, ethnicity, geographical upbringing, religious views, political views.
We're a diverse group
so that
of censors.
Well, but this actually makes sense as to why I was saying that I feel like PG-13 has gone up, and that's because, in like what they'll show, and it doesn't feel as censored as it used to, and that's just because the sensibilities of younger people, these age groups that they're wanting, have changed too.
I mean, but beyond that, these movie studios control this process. I mean, you think they're gonna leave chance? Like, they say all this shit, but it's like, oh, no one knows who's like, yes, they do. They know exactly who works for the MPA, and they know exactly what they need to do, because if like a movie studio has to change something, like, it's just told them clear cut. Like a perfect example is Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of South Park, made Orgasmo, which got NC-17 rating. And it's like, okay, what do we do to get an R rating? They're like, look, it's freedom of expression. You know, just we can't tell you specifically what you have to do. It's your project. That would be censorship to tell you just to change these things or just change this or that. You know, we can give you the guidelines as much that you're allowed to know, but that's all you get. And then they made Team America, or one of the mainstream movies they made, and it's like, oh, here's the changes you need to make from the studio. So like independent filmmaker, it's like, oh, it's artistic expression. When a studio makes it, it's like, this is what you need to do. This is what they told you. It needs to be cut from the movie. So it's night and fucking day. The panel scrims around 3 films a day, watching each movie from start to finish, including the credits. Oh, in case they try to sneak anything naughty in the credits, I guess. Readers are watching for sex, nudity, and language. How do you watch for language? You know what I mean? Like, how do you they read the subtitles? Like, how do you watch for language? Which are consistently among parents' top concerns, McMahon said. So this board is supposed to be, it's not about like rating it, it's about rating it for children. So that's the immediate thing. So it's like the auspices for this is it's the guide parents.
Why would they be rating it for adults?
Why would they be rating it for adults? Because I don't know. Maybe some adults don't want to watch the content either. If they get, but my question is, why rate it at all? Like, isn't that up to people what they want to watch?
Yeah, I understand that, but also, okay, so I do kind of get it, because what if there's a so the Batman, right? I'd feel comfortable showing that to a kid, but if it's going to be showing some really disturbing scenes, then I do feel uncomfortable with letting them watch it. And if I don't know that it's
so you ultimately have to be pro censorship then.
The rating isn't to censor it from adults watching it.
It's not to censor from adults watching it, but it ultimately impacts where the movie can be released, because if this gets an NC-17 rating,
I agree with this. If it's for kids, then NC-17 shouldn't exist. R is the highest rating. I agree. See, that's what I'm saying. R is an adult. That's it.
That's why I'm saying it's actually a punitive measure in a lot of cases for people who want, like Quentin Tarantino, for example, in the Kill Bill series. he was originally given an NC-17 rating, which is why some of those scenes in the film are black and white because they said there's too much blood and violence. The movie's already rated R,
Yeah,
which was restricted.
I think NC-17 should be done away with. But I don't think ratings should go away because I think it'd be difficult for parents to know, like, is this? I don't think a 3-year-old should be watching.
Suitable for
you know what I mean?
children, not suitable for children. There you go.
How do you know then? That's still censorship.
No, I'm saying
Who's gonna
like
tell me what's suitable for my kid?
exactly my point. Okay, so you just defeated your own argument because you're saying how can you tell?
Well,
right.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm fine with some
Who's-
PG-13 movies.
So you're fine with a random group of people that you don't know being the arbiters of what's good for you and what's bad for you.
It's not for me, it's for kids. So
Who makes decisions for kids?
I don't really know how else they would do it. And I can't, like, parents
Fuck
cannot
them.
just, like, if you're reading through a summary of a movie.
If kids are allowed to be around guns in America and all kinds of
don't-
other crazy shit, if that's allowed, they're allowed to be around all that stuff. Then who gives a fuck what they're watching? Because
maybe parents should explain to their children, right? But if you're going to see a movie in a theater and you don't know what that movie has in it, the ratings do kind of explain what's going to be in that movie. Okay, so if you're going to see Thor and you know that it's PG-13, you know that there probably isn't going to be outright fucking in the movie. Okay,
right, sure,
but you know that there probably isn't going to be like
but ultimately
actual heads being chopped off and shit.
Well, there was a head being chopped off in the very beginning of the movie of Thor: Love and Thunder. But the point is that it still is going to ultimately lead to censorship.
It's not censorship for adults, though.
Okay, well, censorship even done on someone. Censorship done on the auspices that's protecting children from the entertainment industry.
Parents should have to get a license to raise kids. Sure, but I mean, I agree with that. But also, what does that have to do with knowing if a movie is suitable or not? I understand that.
Well, and then you just literally said it. We were having this conversation. You said, "Well," I said, "Okay, not suitable for children, suitable for children." You said, "Well, how do you determine that?" And it's like, "Well, how do they determine this?"
I mean, they're kind of explaining it.
They're explaining it, but I'm saying they're being the moral police. They're saying, "Oh, do you care if your kids see nudity? Do you care if your kids hear naughty words? Do you care if your kids see graphic images? Isn't that supposed to be up to the parent?" And you're saying, "Well, it's just the guidelines, so they can make the decision." But we're saying that, but ultimately, it affects what can be done in a movie. And okay, and the rated R shit and NC-17 shit, there's no even an argument for that. There's no argument.
A licensed parent would have training to know not to let kids see stuff they shouldn't. I don't.
Not to mention, like, most stuff on like these social media platforms, the places kids use, are not rated at all, so they can watch whatever videos they want there. Should they rate those videos too?
I think they kind of do have ratings.
Not really.
On YouTube?
I mean, not unless you're talking about the YouTube Kids, but I mean, there's plenty of things on YouTube that kids can watch that are completely innocent, and some that are just probably not appropriate for kids. I agree, but I'm just saying, like, how do you rate that?
I just don't. I don't personally have a problem with the ratings because I don't look at the ratings.
Now we're talking about some rated G shit, of course. That rated G shit's not going to need any fucking censorship. But the point is
wait, why are you fine with rated G?
I'm not saying I'm fine with it. I'm saying that, like, I understand, like, some shit like that. Like, both ends of the spectrum, it's like,
what is suitable for some kids isn't suitable for all kids. So, I mean, how do you determine? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if you know that your kid can handle PG-13 type movies where there is some violence, but it's not to a level where there's going to be an extreme amount of blood.
But that's subjective still.
I agree, but you can use your parental knowledge to know, hey, my kid really gets scared at certain types of things that we've seen in PG-13 movies. So I'm not going to let them watch that just yet. Right? But you will have kids that are able to handle it. And so maybe they are
but that's a subjective decision based on you actually being a parent. There's what we're saying, like, a random, mostly anonymous group of people are making a decision for you. So we don't know what there's. Well, the standard, because they don't tell you the exact standards they use. They're like, here's the criteria.
Then
like,
maybe they should use. That's what I'm fine with them making a whole standard, and then we can change it as we go on. You know,
I'm not. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the standard because, like, it's subjective and it should be up to the person watching if they think it's appropriate for their children or not. Not this board, not this group who are unaccountable to anyone.
There should be a list of potential non-child friendly content in that movie. They have it in the fucking ratings. It said this has blood. It literally says it in the ratings. It says this. Okay. So this right here, what you're talking about, this would help parents identify. It says it in the fucking rating. Like some mild violence. I mean, let's fucking look at it. I don't see why the ratings even matter. You're an adult. You can watch whatever you want.
Right.
So why do you care?
Why do I've just explained it to you? You're just being purposefully like.
I'm not. I don't agree with it.
Okay. So you agree that there should be an independent panel of people that have no accountability to you or I.
I think it's better than having a corporate panel of people that
it is a corporate panel. It
says they're random people that have been
It's
chosen.
not. It's not though. You don't know anything about this industry. It's not. Do you think that these major studios
select them?
Yes.
And they can only do it for
Do you think
7 years.
Do you think? Oh my God, they get a new group of fucking puppets in. Yeah, that's hard.
Who do you think should do it then?
Nobody. That's the point. I don't think anybody should do it. I think you as an individual should do it. That's what I think.
I agree. There shouldn't be NC-17 if it's going to make it to where movies cannot be screened. But I don't think there's a problem with ratings.
But some people, there's children might see those movies and that'd be damaging to them. So it should exist. That's because, I mean, you've made the argument. If you think ratings should exist, then NC-17 existing is no problem to you. It doesn't matter if it means that movie can't be shown.
No, incorrect. No, that's not. All the rating should be is for parental guidance, not for it should have nothing to do with whether or not a movie gets into a theater.
It does though.
Okay, and I agree. I've already said that I agree with you that they shouldn't have NC-17. R should be the top.
None. They should have no rating system because it's not. But it's based on a subjective criteria that everyone can have a different set of criteria.
But I also think that the criteria changes, which I think is fine as to why they have.
Yeah, the criteria is based on you as an individual, right? Because ultimately, if you take your kid to a movie or not is up to the parent, unless the kid sneaks into the movie, which I guess that could happen. But that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying if everyone has a different standard, then how can there be this one size fits all approach and actually be accurate?
Okay, so right here, I'm going to pull this up because people said maybe they should have a list of the shit that's in it.
No, I agree they do.
Okay, so they do. Look here. PG-13, intense sci-fi violence. Okay, so that tells you that there's going to be some more intense scenes that maybe a kid that's very sensitive would not be able to handle it. There's action. Okay.
Language. So
I don't know what
there's language in the movie?
I guess they're just meaning that it might say shit or bitch or whatever. There is partial nudity because they did show his ass. Okay. It doesn't say what though.
And some suggestive material. What is that?
When it's talking about orgies and stuff, I'm sure that's what that is.
Okay.
So it
Thanks,
does
censorship board.
But it does tell you. But this isn't censoring anybody. Who is this censoring?
Oh, who's it censoring? Okay, well, let's see. We're gonna make $100 million movie. Oh, this Thor movie's too edgy, so it's gonna be rated R. So
I think Marvel is doing just fine.
Okay? No, what I'm saying to you is no, you didn't even listen to the argument. You just said it's wrong.
Go ahead.
Okay. How does the rating affect it, right? You're like, so they make tons of money because they have to have this rating. So if they want to do a darker film or they want to do something different, they can't do it because it's like, well, there's this artificial board that's going to tell you what is appropriate and what is not. Now you don't have to change it. You're right. They don't have to change it, but just you have to have an R rating, which then affects where it can be distributed, that affects the amount of box office the movie is going to make. So ultimately it waters everything down. It does because you have to get that rating. That's why.
Okay, well,
it's de facto censorship.
I don't think that should have anything to do with it. I think it should only have to do with parents and letting them know if they want to show.
But it has greater impact than that. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay, I agree. It shouldn't.
It's like the ESRB for video games, right? It's basically an industry panel with retailers that's like, oh, if you want to release a game that's adults only, we won't distribute the thing, and they've all agreed to it. So it's like you want to make an edgier game, you can't.
I just don't feel like it's censorship to say what's in the shit.
If it was purely just like, here's a list for people.
That's what I'm saying it should be. I've already agreed with you, so we're not arguing about that. I'm saying it that hold on one second. Hold on.
Look, I understand what you're saying. You're saying a subjective list. It's like, here's guidelines, but it's up to you.
Exactly.
And we're not going to, and this isn't enforced anyway. Like, sure, if it was just,
that's what I'm saying.
If it was just like basically like a guide for people, I would have no problem with it, but it's not just a guide for people. It has
Solidarity says my dad always made sure to watch a movie first to make sure it fit the parenting he wanted me to have. He didn't listen to the ratings of others, but his own judgment as a parent. So you're telling me that you never saw a movie for the first time with your dad? Ever?
I mean, I'm sure like it was some kiddie movie. He's probably talking about like adult
went and
movies.
saw a movie for the first time with your dad. That's fucking crazy to me. Your dad's a lunatic. Moving on, I guess.
I don't know if his dad's a lunatic. His dad just wanted to make
Your
sure.
dad sat and watched an entire fucking movie and said, "All right, let's see if this is
Some
appropriate for solidarity." Okay.
Some parents are like
that
that.
said shit once. Like, why don't you just look at the rating? I hope the next Thor has full frontal nudity. I agree. I say kids should be exposed to the most depraved movies immediately. I think you're joking. I hope you are. Anyway.
Maybe not.
Most movies on IMDb have a parent's guide, which I'm fine with. Sure,
Yeah,
but it also makes it easier to just go to the theater and say, "Hey, that's PG-13."
Well, that's
fine.
that's why they get away with it. And see, like, I understand what you're saying. You're saying like, look, I just want to know like a general rundown of this shit.
Right, that's what I'm
And
saying.
and if it had no other of those real world implications, I wouldn't care. I'd just say, okay, well, you know.
Well, I wish it didn't have those.
But I'm saying, that's the insidious side of it.
I also don't think that's really what we're okay. I think the censorship you're talking about though has less to do with children and has more to do with adults, okay, who think
But
that
the justification is children.
Right. I mean, I understand that, but it doesn't have anything to do with like the kids' sensibilities, right? And it doesn't have to do with protecting them. It's like, oh, there's a lesbian kiss in a movie, so that needs to go up. Or I'm just totally uncomfortable with that. Like this movie needs to be banned or whatever. Well, let me see. Let's see. So from Scotty's point of view, should parents watch all movies first before children watch anything? Well, Solidarity's dad did, so there you go.
My point of view on it depends on the movie, but yeah, I mean, if you were absolutely that worried about it, then yes, you should do that. If you don't care, if you're more willing to let them be exposed to something, then no.
The ratings.
That's an individual process. I don't understand how that's hard to understand what my position is. Like, I've made it very clear. I don't think. I mean, like, look, if you want to have independent guidelines where it's an actual diverse group of people that's publicly made and gives people guidelines and it's just suggestions, like here's pure, not rulemaking, mind you, just like here's what people review these films and think. Okay, I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is it affecting what art is made. That's when I have a problem with it.
I don't think it should do that.
Like I don't have a problem with like giving someone a basic guide, but it's not just doing that. If it's all it was doing, that'd be different.
With no rating system, how is someone supposed to know how graphic a movie is going to be?
Watch it. I mean, okay, well, what do you think is graphic? What do you think is graphic? So like what you think is graphic, when I think of graphic are not the same things, right? So what I'm saying is you're saying like, let's have an arbiter decide that. Well, who gets to be the arbiter and why? Based on what? That's my question. I don't think it's an invalid question. Say, oh, well, they should just have these ratings, and how do we know it's graphic? Because you might think something's totally graphic, and I might not think it's graphic at all. Am I right? Are you wrong? Are you right and I'm wrong? How do you determine that?
It's not censorship, it's information. I agree it's information. I don't know what the censorship has to do with it.
It's not censorship? Okay. So you're fine with the independent board telling you what movies can come out, where they can come out, what content can be in them, but that's not censorship? Okay, well, I don't know what censorship is then.
I don't see how it's censorship.
It is. It's 100% censorship. Well, I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with this. So let's move on to the trailer. I just don't think we're gonna possibly ever come to an agreement. We'll just be here the rest of the show arguing this point. And remember, I'm right and you're wrong.
For 35 years, a secret group has controlled the way you see movies.
There were clergy in the room.
These are moral censors.
They've forced great filmmakers to change their art.
I was so devastated.
I got the call and they said NC-17. That's when my blood turned to ice water.
Because the studio won't release your movie.
No advertising budget. You can't run TV spots.
No one's ever found out who they are.
Who is controlling this thing and how are they controlling it?
No one knows. That's the whole point.
Until now.
We're actually hiring a private investigator to try to find out who these people are on the board.
It's time. The MPAA got a rating of its own.
The MPAA is that pinkish color building. There's absolutely no way of going in.
When an Oscar-nominated director
There's somebody.
and a private dick.
They're gonna all start coming out. We'll take some plates.
That's the camera. It looks just like a little butt.
Dig deep
Oh, a lot of women. We need to go for this.
I'm gonna put on my safety belt.
He's not even looking. I got him. Right there. Got a raider.
to expose Hollywood's dirtiest secrets.
Whoa! One woman is topless, breast exposed. So what I don't understand is who's counted the. Do you ever do interviews at all?
No.
I'm already divulging a lot here. At some point, I think I have to draw a line.
For seeing my pubic hair, we get an NC-17.
Violence is fine, sex isn't.
You almost got us caught. They were going, look at that man. Is he filming us?
Discover the movie
You are dealing with a very powerful censorship group.
Hollywood doesn't want you to see.
I'm going to say the F word. It's the fascist system.
This film is not yet rated.
Hi. Is this the MPAA? I'd like to submit my film for a rating. It's a documentary. It's about how films are rated.
Censorship gets fucked.
So yeah, I guess all these people who work in the entertainment industry, they're saying this, that it was sent. There's rampant censorship. I guess they're all just lying, guys. I guess they all just made it up. I don't know why. I'm not really sure what they stand to gain. But hey, by the way, the MPAA or the MPA now rated this movie NC-17. I wonder why they did. I'm really struggling to figure that one out. But I advise you guys to watch this documentary, especially people that think this is not censorship or has nothing to do with censorship. I mean, obviously, it's still a point of view, but a lot of these filmmakers, people that worked in Hollywood productions, they feel differently. And I have to agree with them, especially after seeing this, which I think was pretty eye-opening. I mean, it's a little old now. It's 2006, but I definitely think it is a censorship board.
I don't agree it should censor it. And like I told you before, if we get rid of NC-17, then that's not a problem anymore, is it?
I don't think it's the only thing they're talking about, but you can, like I said, I'd watch the documentary and see what your thoughts are from there. But I mean, that definitely does happen quite a bit in the entertainment industry.
I still think there should be parental notes.
I mean, you're probably going to get your way if we're being honest. I don't think they're going to abolish the MPA or these rating systems. I'm not naive. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, I don't think that overnight suddenly it's going to be, oh, okay, just because one neckbeard on the internet is, like, this is censorship, they're going to go, oh, well, what did this neckbeard say? Well, you never mind. Like, we've done away with that. I guess on a lighter note, Red Sonja gets a 4K Ultra HD release, Blu-ray and limited edition Steelbook release. Oh, fuck. There's a limited edition one? No, I love this movie. Taylor's never seen it. I'm just going to go on a limb and assume that that's true.
Nope.
I was just excited to see this. Was coming out. Definitely a campy movie. A lot of people call this like a sequel to Conan. Obviously, there's Conan the Destroyer. This is definitely in the same kind of sort of vein. Just maybe a little bit more low budget than that. And we can take a look at. It's actually a trailer for this. I wanted to pull more than anything because, like I said, Taylor doesn't really know much about it, so probably not the best person to discuss the film with. She's not gonna know much about it. Hell yeah! Red Sonja! Just click on. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube.
What's up, Sonia?
Red Sonja, what are you doing?
Go!
Turn the volume down a little bit.
Sure can.
I'll just do it right there on the.
I love his face.
By the way, that was his girlfriend in Conan, the villain. Nico Morricone also did he did a lot of the spaghetti westerns, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That girl.
That girl.
We could have ruled the world together. You're mad.
We could have ruled the world together. You're mad. Dude, I just love High Arch Lock. I think it was a Canon film. Was it originally? I know Studio Canal has bought a bunch of these old properties up. Oh, it was directed by the same guy that did Conan the Destroyer. It's actually okay, so that's why it definitely reminds me of that. His name is Richard Fleischer. I can read this description here. In the epic 80s, was it originally? Who did this one originally? I think it was like one of those fucking shitty companies. Let me just go look it up. So I know Canon Films made a lot of these. There's a few other ones. All right. let's see.
Scotty should do a tier list of sword and sorcery movies.
Yeah, I think that would probably be appropriate for me to do. Let's see. Let me look at the IMDb page of it. I call it IMDb. Let's see. I'm dumb.
Yeah, he was the composer for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay, yeah, MGM actually did it. Damn, really? They actually had a big budget release. I'm actually really surprised by that.
Scotty, why do you hate Conan the Destroyer? And that's from In the Flatfields.
I don't hate Conan the Destroyer, but it's definitely not as good as the first Conan movie. Not even close. It's just I'm actually working on a Conan video, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but I will give you my reasons at a later date. I'm definitely excited to see this. I definitely like these kind of movies, and to get a 4K restoration, to me, it's just another excuse to watch it again. Because like I've done this so many times. It's like, oh, now it's in HD. It's like, oh shit, I get to watch it in HD. And now it's like 4K. It's like, all right. Now whenever they do the 8K one, 8K restoration, I'm sure I'll be the sucker in 5 or 10 years to watch that one too.
How can they restore it to such a high resolution?
My understanding of it, which is very rudimentary, is that because they shot it on 35mm film, they're able to actually. That's actually pretty expansive in what they're able to do to up convert it, because they're basically up converting it to 4K, which is very possible with film. I don't know all the technical reasons, but that's just like the rudimentary thing I've heard.
Did you like Krull?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. So
Taylor. If it's a movie like from the 80s, Taylor's probably not gonna have seen it.
I was born in 94. Okay.
All right, let's go on to the next thing. Definitely gonna see that though.
All right, so this is a subreddit that I found called Dog Free, and it's really similar to the subreddit Child Free, which is a subreddit where they just hate kids and they hate parents. And this one is called Dog Free, and I didn't think it was as popular as it was. It's got 43,000 members. Bolo Tai says we're the same age. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so
35mm film is capable of up to 8K conversion, from what I understand. That's cool. This person says I hate the subreddit already. I know, and it gets worse because not only do they hate dogs in some instances, and I know it says right here, number 1, no animal abuse or violence. They definitely are fine with animal abuse. And
all right, so
we'll get to that one.
Dog free. We don't like dogs. Well, let's go to the FAQ. Actually, we'll read this first.
This is a subreddit for those who do not like or own dogs to discuss modern day dog ownership and its effects on society.
Okay.
So let's see. There's the rules.
Let's go to their FAQ.
Yeah, where is that?
It's right at the top.
Okay. Let's see. Why don't you like dogs?
Okay, let's click on that. So why don't you like dogs? What's our explanation?
Okay. Just curious, no hate, please. So here's the main threads. Many reasons, which include they smell.
Yeah, I like the smell.
The fact that they trample in their own shit or piss, or get their own shit and piss all up in their hair, fur, and then proceed to get it all over your furniture where you eat. Now, this is funny, okay, because these people, most of them like cats and are cat owners. I have never, not even once, had my dog wipe his ass on his shit, okay? But I have had my cats have shit on their ass. And I also have a cat that frequently pisses on herself. So anyway, they're loud, the barking. Cats are loud.
Yeah.
They're unpredictable and could easily hurt me. That depends on the dog.
I mean, every dog is out to get this person.
And I have no meaningful way to get them to stop hurting me without inflicting violence on them.
So they're a pacifist. You know what? That's actually the first one argument that maybe even has a thread of credibility to me. It's like, I'm a pacifist. I would never want to hurt another animal. And what if my dog goes crazy? I mean, it's not likely, but it is possible.
You cannot communicate meaningfully with them beyond very simple
Well,
ways.
I feel this way about some humans, so I'm not really seeing that point either.
Shedding.
Okay. I mean,
Sure.
I don't think there's any argument about that.
Despite how well trained a lot of them are, they're unruly and don't listen to their owners.
That's not a well-trained dog then. There's
Yeah,
actually
that's-
very few, in my opinion, very few well-trained dogs. So I understand that point. Like, you don't like the fact that these dogs, are not completely sycophantic and obedient, but most dogs are pretty obedient to a degree. But I definitely have seen people who don't train their dogs at all, and they can be annoying or harass people or cause problems. So that is true.
When you want your space or need some alone time, they don't leave you the fuck alone. They also have to be constantly touching you. I mean, yeah, obviously, my dog is sitting right on my lap right now.
As a dog owner, I can say this is not true at all.
My dog doesn't really like to be touched, to tell you the truth. I hate how I can sit on a couch. I can't sit on a couch without a stupid dog pouncing on my lap or pushing me out of the way. If a human is touching you or too close to you in a context where there's lots of room for them to be there without invading your personal space, you can tell them to stop and they will mostly listen. Whereas with dogs, no such thing exists. That's whatever.
That's not even true either.
They slobber everywhere. That's not true.
Some dogs do. Yes.
And it's not all the time though. They use their dirty fucking tongues to try to lick your face immediately after they lick their own asshole.
That is
Somewhat
true.
true.
I
Somewhat
mean,
true.
yeah. I can't argue
John
with that
Luke is
point.
terrible at giving kisses though. So they're needier than children.
No, they're not.
This
No,
person's
they're
not a
not.
parent, clearly.
They're not.
Not babies or toddlers. However, human babies and toddlers are only like this for 2 to 4 years. You're not a parent, clearly. Anyway, moving on. Okay, now that basically covers the dogs themselves. So they just hate how dogs are. And these are for people that are fur parents and dog culture in general.
So the first set of reasons is why they just hate dogs. Like, this is why I don't like dogs. And now I'm going to take issue with people that are part of dog culture. Ugh.
Equating dogs or really any kind of animal as just as important as humans.
Okay, why are they not?
Yeah, explain that shit to me.
I mean, that's a philosophical question for sure. I mean, you can say humans are smarter, humans are blah, 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 this. But I mean, if you look at the bad shit humans have done versus the bad shit dogs have done, I'm pretty sure we're way fucking worse than dogs. Way fucking worse. Like, how many dog genocides have there been? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It seems like, blaming people that like a particular animal is kind of strange.
Kirk says, why dedicate a subreddit to something you don't like, especially for something so personal like dog ownership?
Oh, because it affects everything. You don't understand.
You don't understand.
People who prioritize animal rights over human rights. Well, someone's got to, right? That's how rights advance.
So here's the next one. People who prioritize animal rights over human rights. So this goes beyond saying dogs are just as important as humans. They're saying they're better.
Well, it's like saying Jane Goodall is an idiot because she prioritized the rights of chimps over the rights of people. Why did she do that? I've never heard anyone say that ever. I mean, like, maybe there are some people that think that, but yeah, there's some people that advocate for certain issues that maybe you don't think are important. And this is probably one of the reasons why, because there's people that like you that think that dogs are just horrible and evil.
The next one is, I like dogs more than people.
That's what is it to you?
Yeah, what do you care?
I mean, if it's someone else's life,
You like people more than dogs.
Yeah, you hate dogs. You can have every right to fucking hate dogs if you don't want to. I mean, you don't have to fucking like an animal just because a lot of people do.
The fact that I'll be branded a sociopath because I don't share their interests in animals/dogs. I would never hurt an animal or dog unless it was attacking me. However, by default to these people, I'm the sociopath for simply not liking dogs for all of the perfectly reasonable reasons I mentioned.
No, there were not. A lot of those were not reasonable. Like, the bias of the person here is so clear. I mean, look, I know that's just a post on the internet. I don't think that makes you a sociopath, though.
No.
But that's a straw man who, I mean, like, I've never said that. Maybe other people have said that this person is a sociopath for not liking these animals. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with not wanting any animals in your life. If that's just not for you, it's not for you. And they said, like, they would never hurt animals. And that's great. I'm glad they're not going to, be abusive or hurtful to these animals just because they don't like them. But I mean, look, people are free to judge you. If they want to call you a sociopath, they're not even really calling you in a true sense anyways. They're just saying, like, you're an asshole. So maybe they have to say, hey, he's an asshole who doesn't like animals. How about that?
Right. This next one's pretty interesting to me because I've seen this one in multiple. Like I've been scouring the dog free Reddit. Okay, and this one is brought up a lot, and I don't know where it's coming from. These people laugh or feel nothing when a human gets hurt, but have an emotional breakdown when a dog gets hurt. Some of them actually enjoy seeing humans get hurt as long as a dog doesn't. Recall this. These people also think I'm the sociopath here. Yeah, okay, there. Who are these people you're talking about?
I mean, think about this. It depends, and this is entirely contextual. That's like saying like two people fighting in the middle of a street, and then there's a dog, and it's like, I hope that dog doesn't get hurt. Oh, but you're the sociopath. What about those people? They shouldn't get hurt. It's like, but those people are way more intelligent than that dog, and they're the ones causing the issue to begin with.
I can understand getting sociopath vibes from dog haters because dogs are basically a cheat code for unconditional love. Yeah, I have to kind of agree there. Like, there are people on here that I totally understand. Marilyn, see, this is why I don't like fucking cats, man. Marilyn, get off that cat.
I don't like fucking cats either. I like petting them though.
Oh, sorry, Marilyn. My bad. Hold on.
Just close that laptop.
I'm sorry, baby.
The cat got mad.
The cat is so pissed at me. She's like, how dare you get me off that laptop?
Is there a cat-free subreddit?
Hell no.
Probably not. Yeah, I didn't think so.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Treating dogs or animals like their own children.
I mean, yet again, that's who cares? That's their life.
Who is that? Thinking that them being a pet owner is just as important to society as being a good parent to a human child is.
I mean, according to you, it is though. You just said that most dogs are not well. Okay, so go back up. Despite how well trained a lot of them are, they're unruly and don't listen to their owners.
Yeah, they're saying well trained and because they're not. They're saying that they're not.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying like that just goes to the point though. It's like they're saying like they want that to be the case. Like it should be just as important to them. It's like shouldn't you want them to take that approach to it?
Right.
Because if they have greater care with it, then it's less likely to cause a problem. So I don't really see that as being a negative thing. So really, it's a pretty poor list so far. I mean, some of the points I can definitely see as, just being your subjective experience.
How about this one? Thinking that their dog belongs anywhere humans are allowed to go.
I mean, of course, that's completely dependent on the environment. And look, service animals are allowed to go plenty of places, but those are specifically trained animals. Like, are you also opposed to service animals going there, especially if the person needs help?
Let's see. It's when they say dogs are cleaner than humans. So sick of this pure bullshit.
I mean, cleaner in what way?
Yeah, cleaner in what way?
I mean,
dogs don't really spend their time cleaning themselves.
Look, if a dog licks his butthole and then tries to lick me, do I agree its mouth is probably dirtier? Yeah, sure. I mean, I get that. But if you go jump in a pile of shit and the dog has just got a bath, I mean, who's cleaner? You know what I mean? So, of course, everything's contextual.
Being expected to be excited to hear about people's dogs. Well,
okay,
I mean,
you don't have to be.
You don't have to be. And I'm not. I generally don't care about other people's dogs.
Yeah, same. I mean, like, I like them in a
see
tertiary sense.
Yeah, like if their
hey.
dog comes over, like I definitely want to pet the dog. Yes, I do. But yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting you to be excited either.
Well, see, a lot of this is very loaded and biased, so it's not like I could see if it was just like, why do I care about your dog? Like, okay, that's a fair point, but it's like being expected. And I'm sure there's this, I mean, like, I don't think it's unreasonable to say this person probably has experienced someone going like, here's little Foofy.
You could torture these people just by forcing them to watch an Airpod marathon.
But I mean, to be fair, I can't think of many times people have tried to be like, don't you love my dog?
Yeah, I've never.
I mean, I've had it happen a couple times where people have done that, but usually, like, I like dogs, so it's not even an issue. But I guess if I didn't, and I've encountered people that don't like dogs, and they're like, like my dog will come up to him, and they're like, "Get that dog away from me!" And they all freak out. And like, usually, those are people that I don't spend much time around and like, but I don't think they're sociopathic. I think they're just kind of like, usually they come across as more uptight
or scared,
or like, I mean, fear is different. If someone's like really afraid of a dog, I treat that differently than someone who's like, oh, dogs are disgusting. So I've definitely encountered both.
I'm generally afraid of small dogs, so I can understand being afraid of a dog, but these people aren't about that though. Like, they're not. The majority of this list up here about why they don't like dogs, it didn't have to do with dogs being scary,
right?
So I don't think that's the big issue. Like I've met people that have a true fear of dogs, and it generally has to do with the fact that they've gotten hurt by one, like being bitten, or maybe they had an incident as a kid.
All
or
right,
something.
so someone's
let's go to the next one. Anyway, the hypocrisy of the child-free pet-loving crowd, and by pet-loving, it's almost always dogs. These people embody the behavior of annoying parents that they claim to hate, except it's even more annoying because it's about dogs. I mean, I agree with that also. I agree with that.
and not human children who are actual members of society. I mean, yet again, that's someone's life. They want to live it that way. What's it to you?
Yeah, don't be friends with them. I
Yeah,
guess.
don't hang around them.
Fake service dogs, such as emotional support dogs, that are basically untrained mongrel family pets that people try to bring everywhere where dogs shouldn't be allowed for sanitary reasons.
Okay, well,
I
look,
agree with that.
That does happen, but that's not every emotional support dog. And
Yeah,
it
there
depends,
are some.
and it depends on the context of that. Someone trying to get a home, but they're going to keep the dog in a home. It's none of your fucking business, in my opinion. And if they want an emotional support dog there, whether it is or not, I don't really care about that. Bringing it to a store or restaurant or places it's not allowed to bring any other dog. That's different because we watched a video on Last Onion Nuggets where we showed someone bringing a non-trained emotional support animal that attacked an actual service animal.
I
in a
agree
store.
with that. Yeah.
So, I agree. There's definitely a distinction there. But this person really is someone that hates these dogs in general. So, I mean, I don't even know why they would even want service dogs to exist to begin with, as they want the world to be dog free. So, I mean, that's an example. But there's always ridiculous people. It's like people trying to bring their dogs onto fucking planes, and they're not really service animals, which has led to a crackdown on that to begin with.
We've had family members bring in non-service dogs and act like they are, and it's pretty bullshit. But that has to do with the service animals. I think you're jeopardizing what rights service animals gets.
Yeah, by faking it.
Right. So the next one is people ascribing human emotions and thought processes to dogs. Dogs do not have the same cognition level that humans do. I'm tired of seeing people pretend that they do. I'm tired of people pretending like dogs are the equivalent of a 2-year-old child. I see that said a lot, and that's not true because dogs are not humans. Humans are not dogs. So when you say a dog is like a 2 or 3-year-old child, that's not true. It's just not accurate at all. We have different, like, dogs. It's like when they do, there's a mirror test that they do with animals, and it's supposed to show higher level thinking, right? And there are some chimps that have been able to do it. There have been some elephants that have been able to do it. And dogs aren't able to.
Well, the mirror test is basically a recognition test. Do you recognize yourself as an individual? But the standard being based on visual acuity, your sight.
That's based off of humans' ability to distinguish themselves as individuals. So when you do that with a dog,
It
of
fails
course
it.
they're not going to see themselves. But you know what a dog can see itself in is its smell.
Right.
A dog is able to distinguish different individuals, and they can differentiate themselves from other dogs by their smell. So does that mean that they have a higher intelligence? You know what I mean?
Well, it's basically like
no one would describe an elephant as having a 2 or 3-year-old human child
No.
intellect. They're way smarter than
yeah,
that.
they're very intelligent animals. But it's a way to express it, and I think it's basically the confines of language. It's like we don't know how to really contextualize their intelligence, so it gets equated to like they're like a small child. You know what I mean? Or like, they're like this, so they're the equivalent of this. So I think it's really just a lack of the ability to describe their actual intelligence level,
Right.
and to really recognize where they're intelligent. Because when it comes to like sense and smelling shit, like we're dum-dums compared to dogs.
Well, that's not completely true, but I mean, I've talked to you about it. Because we
Well, okay, okay, they can give a bloodhound a trail to track. Could you track that trail?
No, but I also haven't been trained to do it. You know what I mean? You remember that study that I showed you about humans being able
Yeah.
to track with scent? It's just we don't use it. We use our eyes more. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
but
a different-
I mean, okay, well, can you smell cancer?
no.
No, you can't. I mean, like, look, you're trying to poke holes, and I get that. You're just trying to give your honest opinion, but at the same time, like, I don't think you don't have as many nerve centers in your brain, or not nerve centers, neurons that are dedicated to your sense of smell. That's why
Sure.
dogs have a superior sense of smell to you.
Let's go to the next one. I'd let 100 people die a horrible death if it meant I could save one dog's life. No, I don't even know if anyone said that. And if they did, I don't.
I mean,
think so.
I've heard people say shit like that, but I mean, whatever.
I don't think they really. mean
That's in the
it.
context of a conversation. I don't think someone's gonna really actually do that. Maybe they would.
The insane levels of narcissism that most dog lovers possess. They think all of society should accommodate their pet. However, their pet gives nothing in return to society, barring actual service animals like seeing eye dogs, for example. The pet only exists for them, yet we're all supposed to accommodate this dog.
That's not even true.
That's-
There's plenty of working dogs that have a beneficial relationship to society, and you're saying these dogs fill no role in society, but a lot of people, it does like bring them something in their lives. Like I feel an emotional connection to these animals.
And it makes them better people.
It helps. And honestly, there's people who are pet owners have like done studies that show they've lived longer or happier. So there's a mental health benefit to a lot of people owning these type of animals, not even just service animals. And there's also working animals like on farms and other places that do actual jobs. I mean, so if you're talking about purely just people who own pets for enjoyment, yeah, it does have a positive benefit in their life.
And the last one is the fact that dog lovers prefer a slave master relationship and only want something that loves them unconditionally, despite how shitty of a person they are. I'm sorry, but I find it incredibly uncomfortable that something could worship you when you don't deserve it.
I don't even think that that's the real relationship. I think some people may view that, but I don't think that it's even anything near like that. Like I don't look at my dog and go like, I master, you slave. Do I direct my dog to do things? Yeah, but I don't control every aspect of my dog's life.
This person clearly has either never, I mean, this person sounds like they've never had a dog that's their own, because that's not true.
Not to mention, dogs don't listen 100% of the time. I mean, like, even the best trained dogs have their own thoughts.
Let's see this person. This list has a lot of cherry-picked examples that are being described.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, this is someone that's trying to, I guess, express it, like, because they've just been asked endlessly, like, why do you hate dogs? And it's like, here's my reasons.
If you're an abusive piece of shit to your dog, it's not going to love you unconditionally.
Right.
Right, exactly.
A very good point.
Another one of, I see this often in the dog free subreddit as well, is that people will say that dogs are not capable of loving humans.
Yeah, they're using you basically. Like,
That they're
they feel
using
nothing.
you,
They
right.
feel nothing for you. You are a means to an end, and that's it. I mean, yeah, and it's true with dog evolution. We are a means to an end for them, but they're also that means they're dependent upon us. But as you know, was even just saying a second ago, you can be abusive to your dog. You can neglect your dog. And the dog's not going to like you very much or have much of a relationship with you. I mean, like relationships take work. Doesn't matter if it's with a dog or with a person or whatever the fuck we're talking about.
I just want this person to look at this video.
Yeah, the dog feels nothing.
This dog is literally fucking sobbing, okay?
Nope, the dog felt nothing.
I mean, you can hear
Oh
it.
no, the people prime the dog.
We miss her too.
I mean, there are countless examples of dogs going to owners' graves and staying there for fucking years, or going and waiting at a train station.
Oh, what's that dog's name? The one in Japan?
Haichiko or something?
Come on, let's go.
Oh, let's not play this. Let's not play this.
Oh.
This might get us copyrighted.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'll just put it through there.
Yeah.
So you see this, they tried to call this dog.
But why would the dog go to the grave?
And
It doesn't
keeps-
care.
Its owner's grave is right here. They died 2 weeks prior. And they
Dogs do
can
th-
smell.
Dogs do this with other dogs. I've literally seen this happen. Like they're very loyal animals, and it's like, oh, that loyalty is that's garbage. They don't feel anything. Why would the dog do that? The owner is dead. It can give them no benefit.
I
There's
agree,
n-
but how would the dog know it's the owner's grave? Well, because for one, there's a dog that went to its owner's grave for 10 years every single day. And they would constantly bring the dog back and it would just go back. And the reason why is because the dog knows the scent of the area around there, and they know that that's the last place that they smelled their owner's scent at.
So they keep returning to it.
So they keep returning it to it. It's like there's a dog that kept going to a train station, and it's because that's the last place they saw their owner at.
Well, I forget the dog's name. It's a famous story in Japan. But every day the dog, like the owner died, but it would always come home and the dog would greet the owner his owner at the train station. So he would go there every day. His owner died, I think, on the way home or some other time in the city. The dog, for the rest of its life, would go and try to greet him because it was part of just like his life.
Hachiko. Yep, that's it.
Hachiko, yes.
There's a movie about it too with Richard Gere, right? I've never seen it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
But yeah, I mean, so it's like to say there's no real emotional relationship
I
between you
wasn't
and the dog.
prepared for that. I'd be so sad for the rest of the day. Yeah,
I know. But I mean, the point just being that it's like these people are being really uncharitable to dogs. I mean, if they don't personally like them, which I mean, they look, you don't have to like dogs. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you don't like dogs. But here's the
I
thing.
am.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion. But at the same time, they're not being honest here. They're not being truthful about what dogs are. They're just kind of putting them in the small little fucking box and saying this is what a dog is. And it's not true. Fuck this. We already read enough about it.
Okay. We're gonna go to. All right. So when I was looking through a dog subreddit, not dog free, but something else, it showed this one, and it was posted on. I'll read the title first. It's North Carolina attorney suggests barking dog have vocal cords surgically removed in exchange for drop charges. And this was put on the dog free subreddit, and the majority opinion on there with hundreds of comments was that this was a good thing and they thought it was great and they wished that it would happen.
Well, not too shocking.
So reading before, if you saw some of the rules, if you were looking at the screen, to the people watching, not listening, you would see that they were talking about on the FAQ, they said, "Are you cool with murdering dogs?" And they're like, "Of course not." Well, you're fine with abusing them. Now, they did take the post down, but the majority of the people in your subreddit agree with removing a dog's ability to fucking speak.
So I don't even read this. They have a video here. I will just play that.
Let's watch this.
A North Carolina man has a number of citations because of his dog's loud barking, but he was stunned when he heard a plea deal from the district attorney's office to solve the problem that involved putting his dog under the knife. Hannah McKenzie reports.
Meet Leo.
Oh.
He's a 7-year-old Great Pyrenees.
He's
and
big.
as they say, his bark is worse than his bite. But it's not.
His bark isn't even unpleasant.
So, like, so let's just be as charitable as possible. These other people that want this action. So they've called the police. It's clear. They've recorded this dog. Oh, this dog's a nuisance. He's always barking. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a small problem. It's a small problem. So, I mean, obviously we'll get more into it, but it seems like if the guy's willing to pay the fine, just keep fining him. And if he doesn't want to, if he wants to let his dog out to bark, maybe have an agreement like after a certain time period, the dog has to be put up, or he'll put the dog away, or he'll build the dog a soundproof fucking doghouse. I don't know. It just seems kind of inhumane
You
to
aren't
say.
entitled to having a soundproof life. I'm sorry. And see, that's why there are sound ordinances. If you don't like the sound of this dog barking, no one is entitled to make sure that your life is completely silent. You need to get headphones or you need to fucking move. Sorry.
Well, it is a nuisance. And look, we've actually
Sure. No, I agree.
and we've actually dealt with this, but let's watch the full
yeah,
story.
Let's watch the full story.
That bark that landed Leo in some trouble with the
Leo.
Brown County Sheriff's Office.
What are you doing, Leo?
He is a big dog, so when he does bark, you're going to hear it.
Right. Yeah. Leo's bark does travel, but it's just it's just because he's 120 pounds.
Owner Michael Eddings telling us, following complaints from neighbors, he's racked up $750 in noise violation citations and attorney fees. He feels his family is being unfairly targeted.
I have a neighbor that has 3 or 4 dogs that bark. My neighbor across the street has dogs that bark. So I think, singling us out for one dog is a little ridiculous.
He's definitely being singled out.
I mean, yeah, dude, if there's a bunch of dogs in that neighborhood and they're barking their heads off and it's like, no, you're the problem. Yeah, it's probably an issue with him.
Those citations stacking up, leading to a court appearance Tuesday where Eddings was stunned.
Did the dog have to go to court?
Leo,
Hear what
You've been a naughty
you
boy.
stand accused of being a nuisance in the fine state of North Carolina. Your bark carries a great distance, and the quiet enjoyment of these neighbors' property has been irrevocably lost. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It's It's a dog barking. It's annoying, but like, go inside.
Why is that so annoying to people? If it's not happening literally all night, then what's the issue?
I don't know.
I'd rather that than some yippy little dog. Yeah, we had a yippy little dog problem, but we'll get to that after this. If I was that dog and they took my vocal cords, I would use my newfound silence to break into their house and eyeball them.
What are you, Leo? What are you doing here? Oh no! Oh God!
Leo, put your tie on. We have to be at the courthouse in an hour.
Come on, Leo.
Let's go. That dog is being censored. I agree.
Yes, dog is definitely being censored. We can agree with that one.
Did he have to put his paw?
Yeah, did he put his little paw on there? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? What?
A representative from the district attorney's office offered.
Said that if you have the dog's vocal cords removed surgically, they would drop all charges. It is crazy. It is inhumane, yes.
I reached out to District Attorney Ashley
Oh, yeah, great.
Welch.
I'm glad
The
a
DA
government. Well, I won't even get into that on this channel, but I'm not very pleased to see that on a government building. Just put it that way.
Confirming an assistant district attorney suggested surgically altering the dog's vocal
So help you, dog.
So help you, dog.
cords as a possible solution to violating the noise ordinance. Welch adding, quote, whether offered in jest or seriousness, the suggestion was inappropriate. I am unable to offer additional comment as this is now
I am a piece
personnel
of
matter.
shit that oops. Guess I shouldn't have made that offer.
Yeah, that is unusual punishment. And it's this would never be used for a human, you know? And that's why it's cruel and unusual. I don't even know why they would why would that even be a suggestion that you think is appropriate in any kind of sense? Like if someone was outside yelling all the time, you would never suggest that you remove a person's vocal cords.
Look, the city is willing to study a disorderly conduct and disturbing the peace.
So
many
because they're-
violations by having your vocal cords simply removed, sir. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And like, dude, any city I've been to, I've heard idiots screaming at the top of their lungs all throughout the night. I mean, some of them probably mentally ill, some of them obviously drunk, some of them obviously in various states in between. But it's no one would ever view that as humane. Say, hey, let's just remove their vocal cord. That guy's really annoying. I mean, I don't know. Maybe maybe in a few years, America, that'll just will be the solution.
As much as I can't stand screaming toddlers on a plane, I don't know if I could join a subreddit community that suggests to remove
Yeah.
a child's vocal cords. Right.
Take it out.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. Is that they think it's fine to harm a dog in this way. And I mean they removed the post, but that doesn't mean that your community doesn't agree with it. They totally are fine with this.
But Leo's still not off the hook. Neither is Eddings. He's now staring down another court date in October. Until then,
You know, we're willing to negotiate it. You know, we'll put up a fence, things like that. But I'm not going to put on a barking collar, and I'm not going to have surgery.
Graham County Sheriff Jerry Crisp confirming deputies have issued
All right.
several
See, look, the fence thing, sure. A barking collar. I mean, there's ones that are not, they don't zap the dog.
Yeah, there are ones that do smells and stuff.
Yeah. So, like, if there's a humane way to deal with it, like, I don't think he's right to say that he wouldn't even attempt something like a barking collar. I mean, I'm thinking he's probably in his mind thinking it's just like it's gonna be like a zap, and some are like that, but not all are like that. So he might want to try a more humane one. But yeah, build a fence, try to come up with a solution. I don't know. It just seems like this district attorney just probably said this is like, well, look, why don't we just maybe take the dog's vocal cords out, huh? That could solve this issue. Probably a fucking friend. This looks like a small town, so I'm guessing it's probably someone knows this district attorney, and they're trying to push this as a solution. That's really what it feels like to me, because then it becomes a news story, and it's like, oh, well, you know, maybe it was just a joke or something. I don't really know. It's like, yeah, I think you did know.
I love how every time they try to record Leo, he just ends up shoving his snooter in the camera. Yeah. I'd support removing Rudy Giuliani's vocal cords.
I definitely do not.
Hire Caesar Milan. Caesar Milan is a scam artist, okay? So let's not.
He's a high-end grifter.
So we dealt with people that had barking dogs at
A
our
ton.
last- a ton, but it wasn't like we never thought it was the dog's fault. We just had a problem with the fact that they would leave their dog out for hours. And so I ended up putting a petty post on Nextdoor, and I'm like, hey, if you could like please let your dog in the house instead of leaving them out at all fucking hours of the day and including into the night, that'd be absolutely great. And they started letting the dog in. So
Well, our old next door neighbors, they like when we first moved there, were like, and they actually ended up moving, so there really wasn't much of an issue after a while. But like when we first moved in, it was just constant.
I mean, it was
Constant,
constant, and they're right
constant.
next door. So, and it was a
Like we would go outside, they'd bark at us, but they weren't as bad about us because eventually they would just calm down if we were out there. But we have dogs, so letting our dogs out would just lead to a barking match.
hooray for passive aggressive notes. Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
It was because we would be inside 10 a.m. Dog is barking nonstop. 7 p.m. The dog has been barking all fucking day, unless the dog went to sleep, which occasionally it would. But the dog was super bored, so that's why I was barking.
And then we had this other people move in because our backyard was a pretty large lot, so we had a bunch of on the backside of a property, a bunch of neighbors. So these people moved in, and we actually ended up having to call the local, basically like what do you call
It was
it?
animal services.
Like like basically the animal services part of the police department because their dogs were actually neglected. They left their dogs outside all hours, but like it would literally be 1 o'clock in the morning. I would go outside, take my dogs out.
Yeah, after doing a show.
And it'd be like, like if they went to a certain part of the fence where those dogs were, it'd be like, they'd be doing the growling between the fence, barking at each other, and it's like this is 1 o'clock in the morning. This shit can't happen.
It was, and we know that the dogs were outside all the time because, like I said, 7 a.m. taking the dogs out, their dogs are outside all the way up until the last time we would take the dogs out for the night, like at 12 o'clock or 1 a.m. and their dogs are still outside. So, and then it went to the point where their dogs escaped and got into our yard, and they were severely matted, severely malnourished. They had 2 white small dogs, and then they had a pit bull type larger dog, and they were all skinny. They all smelled terrible. I tried to bring them into the house, but they ended up going through the fence again and getting back to the yard.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the fence had broken.
yeah, from the hurricane.
Yeah, so we had to call up and be like,
Yeah, I called animal services and they sent people out. I saw them do it. Anyway, those people moved. So
yeah, they eventually ended up moving, but yeah,
I never saw their dogs again. So I don't know what happened with that.
they either gave them away or did something else with it or moved them somewhere else. But I think they probably just got rid of them personally.
It was really, I don't know. Why would you want dogs?
Well, the reason I think they just surrendered them was because like we never saw them again. I mean, they were talking about months, and they didn't suddenly just start letting their dogs inside. I mean, maybe they did, but I don't know. It was just a horrible thing to see.
My dog had the tradition of leaving the dogs outside every day, all day.
You said my
plus
dog, my dad.
Oh, excuse me, my dad.
My dog.
My dad had the tradition of leaving the dogs outside every day, all night, plus all day, plus all night, pretty much. One died from escaping, getting hit by a car. The other one died from a heat stroke. And see, that's what I'm saying is like when they moved in, it was right before the hurricane, so it's in the middle of summer. So it's fucking sweltering. And we didn't move out of that house until the end of February. And we called the animal control in January, I believe. So they were there from extreme heats into not extreme colds, but pretty freaking cold, you know? And
I don't know, man.
It's fucking sad.
It really is. But yeah, I mean, I've dealt with this personally, and I'm like, dude, there's times where, yeah, it's tempting to say, like, you know what, I need to do something about this. But then you realize, like, it's not really the dog's fault.
Is the outdoor dog thing pretty common in the South?
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's funny because I actually know, I've been in that house where those dogs were, because I ended up making friends with the lady that owned the chickens that my dog killed. And so I went over to her house a couple times. That house did have a dog door, but she boarded the the lady that moved in, it looked like she boarded that dog door up. Dogs do not want to be outside if you're not outside. Okay. My dog jumps the fence, but if I leave the door open and just let him go outside, he's going to run back in because dogs want to be with the people, you know, with their pack and shit. So the dogs did not want to be outside all the time. There's no way.
No.
There's
I
no
mean,
way. That
definitely
pit bull
not.
had short hair. So if it's fucking freezing cold,
The problem with the story too is like, how long is he leaving this dog out for? Is he leaving the dog out all day? Is he leaving the dog out for fucking 10 minutes?
Great Pyrenees are used as guard dogs, so that could be him leaving the dog out all day. And if that's the case, then fuck him.
Well, he's got to come up with a solution.
But it seems like he cares about the dog, you know? But that doesn't mean he doesn't leave him out too much.
Yeah, see, it's so difficult, these little blurb news stories, because we'll never hear the follow up to this, and you'll never get the full story. You know, so I mean, but on the face of it, I think, you know, almost universally people agree, yeah, you shouldn't have the dog's vocal cords removed. That doesn't seem humane or fair to the dog doing what it's naturally supposed to do.
Pretty much how my dad was. Dogs were malnourished and treated like shit, smelled bad. Eventually, they died in the backyard.
Oh, yeah,
that's so sad. I'm sorry, Roman.
That's horrible, dude.
Your dad, he sounds like a piece of shit.
Yeah, your dad sounds like you should own dogs. I mean, like, yeah, that's where I draw the line. Pet ownership. If you're not going to take care of them, like having a dog does not mean just having a backyard. You put some food out in a bowl and put some water out. Like, it's almost like a 1950s, you know, pre-industrial America view of having a dog. And I think we've kind of evolved beyond that. Well, at least hopefully. Some of us have. Some of us have not, unfortunately. All right, let's move on.
All right. So this one is, I'll make it full screen. Students frequently come to school with dog scratches. Now, this is from the dog free subreddit. I read this one to Scotty last night, and it's fucking ridiculous. Okay. Let me just go ahead and read
So this one's filed under crappy owners.
Yeah, that's the flair. This really ticks me off. I'm a preschool teacher, and every morning, like most teachers, I greet my students. Get a good look at them. That's interesting. She gets a good look at her students.
Have a good look at you.
I get what she's saying. Anyway, make sure they're ready to go for the day and then send them on their way. As I was helping a student put his backpack in his cubby, I noticed he had scratches all over his arm. I asked what happened, and he mentioned how his dog scratched him when he was playing with it. This starts to be a regular occurrence. Scratches, cuts, and small bite marks from being nipped by the dog. I got a little worried, so I asked the school nurse to take a look. She confirmed it was claw animal bite. Then I called home to his parents to see what was going on. How do you not know what's going on? He's playing with a dog and he's getting scratched.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, moving on. The parents explained that the dog just likes to play rough. Excuse me? Your child is being bitten and scratched, but it's just rough play? That's fucking ridiculous. When that dog finally snaps and takes a chunk out of my student's face, I don't want to hear any bullshit about how it was an accident and it's a good dog. I've noticed a couple of the other students with dogs come in with marks as well. Maybe I'm not a parent, so I don't get it. But if an animal is in the house and it's constantly scratching and biting my child, I'd remove that fucking animal.
So wait. So let's just be clear here. Under this person's view, the dog is just constantly attacking the kid, scratching, jumping, biting. What is the kid doing?
Yeah, what's the kid doing?
What is the kid? Is the kid just innocently sitting around? You know, I want to watch, you know, a video on YouTube Kids. And then it's like the dog's like, you know, it's fucking Pennywise, tries to bite the kid's arm off.
I get scratches from my dog sometimes, and Scotty knows. Me and my dog play rough together, you know?
Yeah.
And so it seems like this kid's having a good fucking time. You know, like this kid isn't saying like I hate my dog. They're saying I'm playing with my dog, and that's why I have them.
Yeah, kids get scratches and bug bites and all kinds of stuff. Does that mean they're being abused? Like,
God, don't pussify the one non-fragile child left on Earth. No, they are. The interesting part is edit number 2, where it says what's making me mad the most is that this is a private school that costs $1,900 a month and they can't afford to train their dogs. Have you ever thought that the kid is enjoying himself?
No,
fuck it.
No, they've never even once considered that, which is kind of strange. So let's get some of the comments here from the dog.
This is the worst part. So here's the first one.
It's sad when you have to protect children from their own parents. I mean, depends on the context of it, but this is not protecting children from their own parents. Like, if this kid was actually being abused, that'd be one thing. He's playing with his dog that he likes to play with. There's not a problem here. This is you guys this is one person fixating on a non-existent issue and trying to make a mound out of a fucking molehill, dude. There's
Now-
nothing here.
Again, I want to mention the fact that the people in this subreddit like cats. Okay. I can tell you that almost, let's see, the majority of the scratches on my arm, actually all of the scratches on my arms that are scars are from cats. Okay.
Oh, dude, I get scratched way more by our cats
I get
than
scratched
dogs.
constantly by cats. So, anyway, here's another one. The fact that you have more common sense and nurturing instincts for this child than their own parents. How do you know that, for one? Anyway, just explains how wild this dog culture thing is getting.
Wait, dog culture is getting? You mean the culture that's existed for thousands of years?
We've had dogs for 12,000 years.
Yeah, so it's been they've been around for a while with us. So this is nothing new. It's not like it's not getting here.
As a mother, as soon as I got pregnant with my husband's dogs had to go because they started growling, nipping, and not listening to me. It's like they can sense something different about me, and immediately my mom brain screams predator, and I was repelled by all mutts.
No, this was like, no. Lie. This is someone that always wanted these animals gone, and they knew they could never get the husband to agree, but then it said, what about the baby? And then it's like, of course, the guy at that point is going to go, well, yeah, my kid. So that's it. That's entirely what that is. That's like the ultimate emotional manipulation of like, you're not going to take care of your child. These animals are dangerous. So of course, any dude's going to, for the most, maybe not every dude, but a lot of dudes are going to make the decision, well, gotta keep my kids safe, even though I don't think this is an issue.
Cats injure their owners a lot more than dogs.
In my experience, that's true. But I mean, that's just my experience.
It's almost like they can smell bitch vibes or something. Yep, sure can. I had many cat scratches as a kid. Yep. Scaredy cats. So this person just says that
But thank God. But back to the topic.
I don't understand this either. My coworker used to show pics of her 1-year-old and her dog and laugh about how the dog would sometimes scratch the poor baby too. Like, how can you as a mother leave your... Who the fuck... I don't know if I've ever had my dog scratch kids, Like that whatever. Anyway, this person says is talking about how they're glad that they got rid of the dog and that their partner wouldn't get rid of their dog and how they're fucking crazy for not. And then someone says it's not too late to dump his ass.
Economics permitting. So like,
Wow.
Wait, what? So only be with this person you think you find to be reprehensible and terrible and have horrible taste and have this evil animal around, but economics permitting.
The worst part about all of this is that a lot of these people, and it's not showing it now, but a lot of these people were saying that she should call CPS and get the children removed from the house.
Well, they should.
So please document with pictures and notes and call Child Protection Services. You're a mandated reporter.
Dude, are you fucking... Oh my God, dude. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Can you imagine that report? Okay, so what's the issue here? Well, I work at a daycare. I'm sorry, a preschool teacher, and we've noticed one of the children has scratches, really scratches. Okay, scratches. And what else? Small bite marks. Oh, small bite marks. Okay. What do you think is going on here? Well, the family has a dog. What? The family has a dog. I'm confused. The family has a dog. Yeah, and it's a dog. Do you know what dogs do? They're vicious mongrels. They're untrained. They're the enemy. What do these obsessed dog people do? They put the small child around these beasts that scratch them and bite them. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before these dogs rip this child to pieces. And we want you, Child Protective Services, to step in. Seize this child from this family and put him to a safe dog-free environment. Give me a fucking break, dude. Give me a fucking goddamn fucking break, dude. Dude, yeah, please wait. Like, there's actual kids getting abused, but you want to fucking call and report this?
About a kid playing.
Dude, I hope you
with
do
his
it.
Dog.
I hope you fucking do it. And the next step is the fucking people you work for firing your ass on the spot, going like, why the fuck did you report parents for fucking nothing? You are a fucking psycho. Don't work here anymore. You're gone.
This one's crazy to me. I'm a new parent and I'm constantly chasing any and all dogs away from me and my child. How many dogs are around you?
Yeah.
If anyone
Constantly, I
this one,
guess.
listen to this. If anyone touches a dog and wants to touch my son, they have to wash their hands, no exceptions. I'm appalled when people put their infants on top of or next to a dog while they're sleeping, and I cannot see myself allowing my son to be playing with dogs at preschool age.
So you're gonna give your kid a fucking dog phobia.
So, and I've seen other people talk about their kid having dog phobias and stuff. This is why your kid has a dog phobia, okay? Because you are chasing away any and all dogs, no matter what
'Cause-
size
'cause
they
you're
are,
being-
and saying they're bad. You are making people wash their hands if they even touch a dog, and then try to touch your son.
Wait a minute, but aren't these dogs?
You're saying you're not going to allow your son to play with dogs.
Well, this makes
You're
no
giving
sense
him
then.
a fucking
Wait a minute.
phobia.
This person's a liar. If anyone touches a dog and still wants to touch my son, they have to wash their hands. No exceptions. How do you know if they did? Because you don't allow any dogs around your kid because they're so dangerous. So how would you know? I mean,
Do they turn off Paw Patrol when it's on TV?
oh my God! Don't watch it. Those things are evil. The kid doesn't give a fuck. The kid probably wants to run up to the dog. You're the one that has this phobia, and you're giving your kid a fucking complex. They're gonna see a dog and they're gonna shit their pants in fear.
Is it possible to call CPS and talk to someone about this? I'm so sorry.
I always love these people that want, in any situation, people to take the most extreme and drastic actions when they're not involved in it. It's like they want this person to go and report this family. It's like, what happens when they find nothing and you reported them?
And they just spent all their time going there,
Yeah.
which I don't think CPS would, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how
If,
that works.
if you report the child's being abused, they're probably going to go talk
See,
to
that's
his
the thing,
parents.
is that you know they're going to do that. Is that they're going to say the parents are abusing them and it's not a dog. Because you know that you sound fucking crazy. Okay? You're fucking insane for thinking that it's okay to call child protection services over a kid playing with his dog. Okay?
Ugh.
If my kid has a scratch mark from a cat on them, like I can't even, there's no way that this person would feel the same.
Child Protective Services on that woman.
I mean, just imagine that. If someone says this kid is coming to school with cat scratch marks, what should I do? What do you think these people are going to say?
Call the police.
Are you I mean, they're not going to say that. There's no way. They're
Call
gonna be like-
them.
and it's funny because cat people don't even think kids should be allowed around cats, and it's for the exact opposite reason. It's because people that are obsessed with cats tend to not like kids being around cats. We learned this trying to adopt a cat, but anyway.
Yeah, it's really weird. Let's move on.
Oh, this one too. Not to mention possible infections from the dog's filthy claws and teeth. Very dangerous.
They could get bit by another kid at the daycare and get an infection. Like,
My brother got
Dude.
his fucking nose almost bit off from a kid when he was a couple of weeks old.
oh, but yeah, but
6 weeks old.
yeah, but they're such clean, toddlers, totally clean creatures. Give me a fucking break. You know what's gonna get them hurt at a school? Other kids, other humans. Like these people were so obsessed with worrying about dogs, but they don't give a fuck about what other humans do to them. Every time I've ever heard of a problem at a daycare or one of these preschools, it's with the kids. It's not with, oh, this kid goes home and plays with his family dog and he got a little scratch. It's, oh my God.
I'm sure there are exceptions, but by and large, kids really don't have the respect for boundaries that interacting positively with cats requires. I kind of think that's up to the parents to decide that, but whatever.
But yeah, the rescue we're talking about,
You couldn't get a cat unless you had
kids over 12.
Right.
Which
I think
I think
that's
is,
so much.
I mean, yeah, that's a little old. I could see if it was like 5 or something under, but at the same time, like, do you want the cat to go to a good home or live in a shelter? I don't know.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on from this. I think I'm done with these dog free fuck. Let's go to the am I the asshole stuff. I'm tired of these.
I do want to read this one though, real quick. Well,
I have to take a piss. So you can read it if you want.
This person is sleeping with dogs in the same bed as crazy. No matter how much you clean your dog, it will always eat shit, smell piss from other dogs and themselves. Dogs will always have that dog rotten smell. I just love how people, when they have guests over, the guests have to be as clean as possible, but the dog can jump on every possible chair, couch, table with its smelly, dirty hair, paws, and saliva. Imagine if I put my shoe on their table. What would their reaction be? And my shoe is 10 times cleaner than their shit beast. And then they let the dog sleep with them. It is totally disgusting. And for me personally, it's a big red flag. One of the comments, the first comment is, I would not date anyone who lets their dog sleep in their bed. Huge red flag for you. One, that is fucking gross and sickening on so many levels. And why do you even think that's appropriate? What are you getting out of having your babies sleep in your bed? I'm not dealing with that. Next person says, dog owners are compensating. Lack of loving partner, children, and or friends. Lack of control, desire to dominate. Choose one or all. That is why they do this gross stuff. How do they even have a sex life with their giant mastiff wedged in between them every night? And if they do kick the dog out, they're still having sex covered in dog hair.
Let me explain some of these people. Let me explain some. This is basic biology, okay? In 7th grade, the first year I was in junior high and I took biology. I had this old school science teacher named Mr. Fluky. Dude, his name was Mr. Fluky. That was his name. Actually, it is. He's probably dead by now. He was in the 70s. So he was like an old school science guy, just like the kind you expect in like a 1950s America. Like seriously, one of those dudes. Literally, when he taught us evolution, made this big spiel about evolution is true. But if anyone said that he wasn't a good Christian or whatever, they would literally sue them for defamation of character. I mean, because it's the South, it was Louisiana, so it's like, of course, like teaching kids evolution is like, that's not true. It's intelligent design, So it's like, but anyways, he's like, he did one of the lectures. He's like, you're filthy. People are disgusting and stuff. And it's like, I'm going to prove it to you. So he took Petri dishes and he took everyone in the class. A bunch of kids would come up like, I'm going to take a sample from your hand, or we're going to put it up your nose. Or we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And the stuff that came back just from swabbing someone's hand or their neck or under their arm or wherever he did for the example, the shit that grew on the Petri dish was fucking disgusting. So for these people to go like, sleeping in the bed, just like, you are a disgusting creature yourself. And everything around you is disgusting. It's like when you smell, like, it smells like shit. You're also tasting shit. Underneath people's fingernails and stuff is shit and other bacteria and viruses and all kinds of crap. So to be like, man, being in the bed with the dog's disgusting. It's like the dog should be just as disgusted by you as you are by it. Because you got all kinds of shit all over you. You got bacteria all in your gut. You're just a little you have a microbiome all over you and everything around you. So like this idea of like cleanliness, like, oh, it's clean. Why would you want a dirty dog in your bed? It's like, yeah, the dog might have its own shit, but like, unless your dog is covered in piss and shit, which most dogs aren't, that's up to the person. And then to do this like broad psychological reach in the psyche of these people, like they're compensating for something. It's like,
do you know why my dog sleeps in the bed? He's sleeping on our bed right now. I can see him. He is enjoying himself so much. He is sleeping on our bed because it's the most comfortable spot in the room. Point blank, period. That's it.
Yujiro's sleeping on his bed, though.
Yujiro's sleeping on his bed, and he's enjoying himself. He would sleep on our bed if he could get up there.
Yeah, he can't. He
can't. So my dog is, he is completely sprawled out, totally fucking enjoying himself. And we're not there.
What are we trying to compensate for?
I'm not compensating for my dog getting into the most comfortable spot. That's
dog owners are compensating. Lack of loving partner, children and friends, lack of control, desire to I like this one. Desire to dominate. Dominate what?
The dog?
Have you heard of these people?
He's sleeping on the bed without me there.
Have these people ever heard of like families that own pets? It's like, so lack of a loving partner. So Taylor, I guess I don't know you. Children, yeah, I don't have any of those. Friends, I have none of them. And I have a lack of control. Well, everyone has a lack of control to a degree. Do you control everything in your life, bro? Do you control every single thing that happens to you? You had total control? Well, if that's the case, then, any bad decisions you ever made in your life are totally responsible, are totally up to you.
Didn't mean to do that.
But I'm tired. Taylor.
Sorry. It done broke. Is it back?
All right, let me look. I'm taking over.
I think it's fine. I'm sorry, y'all.
Taylor, I'm taking over. Bad Taylor.
Yep.
What the
you're
hell?
back.
What the hell?
Sorry. I accidentally clicked out of the accidentally clicked out of it. That's my bad. I was trying to get away from the I don't know. I don't know.
Nope. Stop. Okay.
This one.
Yep.
Okay, got it. I got it. Sorry about that, y'all. We're good now.
Hide.
Everything's
Gonna
fine.
hide that. There you go. All right, now go to this tab.
Everything's fine.
Yep. Let's move on from this. There you go.
All right, so now we're going to Am I the Asshole Dog Edition. Am I the asshole for applying to adopt a dog after my daughter moved? This one is absolutely fucking batshit crazy. And I cannot wait for y'all to hear this because Scotty loved it last night.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm a younger daughter, so we should post here to get responses. Remember, I'm the asshole, super entitled people, super crazy, mostly for entertainment value. So, like I said, we always take this with a grain of salt.
Grain of Paul.
Grain of Paul, if you would rather. I'm 52, female. Older daughter, Ava, 24, female. Younger daughter, Ellie, 13, female. Husband, Mark, yeah, I'll throw him in there too. He's 50. And he's a male, in case you're wondering. I lost my first husband in an accident when our daughter was just a few months old. It was devastating and difficult time in both of our lives, and it took a while to get things back together. Oh, it's sad. So far, you got some sympathy. It's like, oh, tragedy strikes. When my older daughter was 8, I met my current husband. We dated for a few years before getting married when Ava was just 10 years old. Oh, Ava. Mark moved in after we were married with his senior dog, who unfortunately ended up dying 4 months after moving. We then had Ellie when Ava was 11. Mark and Ava have always been close. Same with Ava and Ellie. But Ava didn't like Mark's dog when she was living with us. She thinks dogs are gross.
Now, wait a minute. Okay.
And doesn't like to be around them.
Remember, Mark's dog died 4 months
4
after
months.
he moved in.
4 months.
And she said, didn't like Mark's dog when she was living with us.
Yeah, the 4 months.
The 4 months that the dog
Well, that was
there.
a long 4 months.
Anyway.
So we agreed that as long as Ava lived in the house, we wouldn't get another dog. I mean, a huge fucking compromise, for being honest. Like a massive, like, look, like, even though Mark probably likes dogs, I mean, he had a senior dog. All right, you know, for the sake of, like, Ava doesn't like dogs, we're willing to sacrifice. You know, we're not going to do that. Mark and Ellie both love dogs and volunteered at a local shelter. I mean, that's probably because they can't actually have a dog. So they're like, you know, let's scratch this itch some other way. Ellie had always wanted a dog. We promised Ava there wouldn't be a dog in the house while she lived there. Pretty nice of them. We kept this agreement in place while Ava was in college. Damn, that's even pretty solid. She's off at college, since obviously she would need to come home for breaks and visits. And she lived with us for about 1.5 years after graduating while saving up money to move.
So they waited at this point. They've waited.
I mean, it sounds like
8 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah, I mean, they've done her assault. Well, they originally got married when she was 11, so they've waited 13 years. 13 years, and their daughter is now Ellie. The younger one is 13. Husband's 50. It's like, okay. And finally, you know, their older daughter Ava is moving out. Ava recently moved out because she got an amazing promotion. Oh, that's good, Ava. I'm so proud of you.
Wonderful,
sweetie. You've done such a great job. And we'll need to live closer to our company in the city. Oh, the city is so dangerous too. I wish she would have a dog, but she doesn't like them. It's been about 5 months since Ava moved out. And the other day, Mark and Ellie came home and said there's a dog at the shelter they volunteer at that they just fell in love with. I met him, and I love him a lot too. And we decided to put an application for adoption. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun! Oh, no! Adopt a dog? Scandalous, outrageous, ridiculous! How could they even consider such an extreme course of action? We talked to Ava and assured her we would train him excellently, that he wouldn't be allowed near the guest suite, no, off limits, so that she wouldn't be uncomfortable when she visits. We also said if he doesn't want to deal with it, still, we would pay for a hotel for visits. She was super annoyed, and she even said if she were to visit during the day, she'd have to be around a, quote, gross dog, and she'd be disgusted the entire time she's in our house. She said it makes her not want to visit, and that we're making a decision that's alienating her from the family. So does Ava have any friends or other people she has ever hung around with that might have dogs? Did she go to their house? Did she feel disgusted? I'm sorry. You have dogs in your house. I can't be friends with you. I can't know you. Good day to you.
I love the last part, dude.
I feel like there's no way to win here. I don't want to make Ava uncomfortable, but I also don't think it's fully fair that she can dictate what we do now that she's fully moved out. If I get the dog, Ava feels like I'm choosing Ellie over her. And if I don't, Ellie feels like I'm choosing Ava over her. We've always been a close and happy family. And now this one issue is creating so much conflict. I don't know what to do. And I feel like I've messed up here somehow. So, am I the asshole for wanting to adopt a dog that I know Ava will hate?
No.
Okay.
You have allowed your grown child to be the owner of your life. Your daughter has clearly never been told no and thinks that she is somehow entitled to dictating how you live your life, and you are allowing her to do it.
Look.
So you have created a fucking monster, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You have an adult grown child
24 years old
who does not live there, who is attempting to tell you how to live your life.
Yeah, how to run your own household. Like, so look, they've already made this concession to her
And you shouldn't have done it in the first
for
place.
for 13 years.
You should have gotten a dog as soon as your husband, who I'm guessing owns your fucking house, right? Y'all own the house together. You let your young child tell you and your husband what you can do in your own fucking house.
They agreed. And look, that's fine. They made an agreement as long as she lived there.
I mean, I don't think they should have made that
Yeah,
agreement, but they did.
But no, but that's fair. That's an agreement that's voluntary by everyone involved is a fair agreement because everyone can consent to it. I have no problem with that. I understand that. But here is where it gets cuckoo, banana bread crazy. You know where that happens? That happens when she moved out. The agreement is therefore over.
Null and void.
Null and void because the agreement was, because I'm a stickler for these things. As long as she lived there,
See, that's a crazy
we
thing.
won't have a dog. She fully moved out for her job to go live her life and do what she wants to do. Right? The parents let her stay there, even while they would her husband probably wanted a dog, but said, hey, she's still living here. I'm still going to honor this agreement. I'm still going to keep this agreement. Even though our other child and my husband both love dogs, want to have a dog in the house.
They volunteer at a shelter all the time.
We're still going to say no. But then this person moves the fuck out to do what they want with their life. And then it's like, well, on the off chance I'm going to come home and visit, you know, like, you need to make sure the dog is not here. We'll keep the dog out of where you're going to stay. You don't have to be around the dog. We'll get a hotel for you. No, the fact that a dog will even be in that space is disgusting. Fuck you. You don't get to determine that. You moved out. What if you move back? Then too bad. So you basically are saying for the duration of your life, your parents can't have animals. As long as they're alive, if they want you, your special looking little spoiled ass to show up, they can't do that. But they're also, at the same time, denying your sibling who really loves animals the opportunity to ever actually own one until she moves out on her own.
So Ellie is right in saying that she feels like you're choosing Ava over her if you don't get a dog.
They've already done it. They've already.
You've already chosen Ava over your other daughter. Okay.
4 years.
For 13 years, you chose Ava over Ellie.
Yeah.
Okay, you did. You let Ava
Enough
run
is
your
enough.
house and run your life, and it's done.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't even know how this is a hard question.
If she's saying that you're alienating her from the family, you just need to tell her that she's
Alienating
herself.
Yeah.
You didn't say she can't come.
She's saying she won't show up.
And you even said you'll get her a hotel. You will make sure the dog's not in a fucking room with her. I don't even, the dog, that's the dog's house now at that point. The dog has more of a right to be there than Ava does. So I can't believe you're even allowing that concession.
Well, if you're saying that you won't show up because of X, Y, or Z reason, and you're the one saying you won't do it, how is that anyone else's fault besides yours? Own your own fucking decisions. Don't say like, well, you guys made a decision. You don't live there. What are they? No one else has an issue with it besides you that doesn't live there. They'd be like saying, you know what? They go visit Ava in the city, right? Ava, I hate how you've decorated the house. If you want me to come to your house, you're gonna have to let me decorate your house, Ava. I'm just not gonna be comfortable otherwise because I just don't feel there's a good flow here. I don't think the energy is right. And as your parents, we're just not gonna be able to visit you unless you do what we say. Is Ava just gonna go, well, you're right, okay, just dictate my life even though I'm now an adult? Ava's gonna go, no, it's my house. I can do what I want. So fuck you, Ava. Your parents can do what they want. They're fucking bending over backwards. They've already done it to accommodate you. You don't deserve shit. They've already given you enough, Ava. Go live your fucking life. It don't matter what your parents want to do. If you don't want to be around a dog, then just don't visit them. That's your fucking decision.
Ava, leave your parents alone.
Yeah, let your parents fucking, they've already suffered enough having you as a fucking spoiled brat.
Narcissistic fucking asshole kid, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck off. What a piece of shit.
Grown child who doesn't even live there. David says, stickler for agreements, but let TJ not pay you for the bet. Interesting. What do you have to say today?
I mean, I can't take his money. What do you mean to break into his house and steal from him?
Hack into his bank account.
I guess I could, but
Observing Uranus says Scotty is a Kaiser with honor.
true.
Susie says, so many of these Am I the Asshole stories include somebody dictating what other people can and can't do with their lives.
This is the sense of entitlement in most of these, especially the ones that blow up, is astonishing. It really is astonishing to see. And you have people that just are, if this is a true story, I would say it's someone's narrative and they're biased and shit. But just to see that played out and just see it over and over again, like this, there's a sense of entitlement in a lot of people where it's like they feel they can tell you what to do. They could feel, especially in a situation like this, where it's like, you don't even fucking live there. I mean, like, excuse the pun, but you have no dog in this fight. You really don't. You're going to come back occasionally for a visit. So it's like, that's their house now. You don't live there anymore. If you want to move back in, and that's the issue you have, like, what if I have to move back in?
Then don't.
Yeah, it's like, I can at least understand that. But at the same time, you don't get to dictate that. You're an adult now. Let this other kid have a chance to have a life with a dog. It's not a big fucking deal. Like, get over your fucking self.
She doesn't care about her sister.
Well, she doesn't. She only thinks she cares about her fucking self. I mean, that's clear because she doesn't care about her dad or stepdad in this case. She doesn't care about her mom. Doesn't care about her fucking sister. She only cares about controlling this from when she's there. She's comfortable because she has some issue with this dog or dogs in general, which I don't even get. I don't even understand what her issue is. She doesn't have to own the dog. She doesn't have to take care of the dog. She has to be in its presence, and that's just too much.
It's too gross for her. WK Builder says trial by combat.
I'm fine with that.
Ava should have to fight the dog.
Should have to fight to the death. Whoever wins.
Kirk says,
right.
why do so many people feel entitled to tell other people how they should live their life? I don't know. Ask Ava.
I think you can answer that.
Okay.
Because they feel like they know best. And they want what they want. They don't care. It's simply a matter of like, well, this is what I want. And they're looking at it from only their perspective.
Yeah, so I want this, so you should also.
It's like they say, like, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. What they're really telling you is, like, get out of your own point of view and think about what their point of view is. Even if you don't ultimately end up agreeing with them, you can at least understand where that person is coming from. And Ava's not doing that at all. Ava's not looking and saying, well, Ellie really wants a dog. Even though I don't personally like dogs. Like, if Ava was a good sister, she'd get every right to say, I don't really like this decision. I'm not too happy with it. But I get why you're doing it. And when I'm there, I like to just be my contact with the dog to be minimal, and I'd rather not be around the dog. And I ask you guys to really clean the house before I get there. That'd be someone who's a reasonable person about this, especially despite their own personal feelings and understanding that everyone has a different perspective. And you should try to respect your family, especially when everyone wants this dog, and the only one doesn't want it doesn't even live there.
It's obvious to me that that Ava feels like this dog really signifies her not being a part of the home anymore, and that she is, I mean, she's still a part of the family, but there is a difference between like the family that lives in the house and the person that has moved out. So
Right.
that's what this dog is signifying, is that loss of the family unit that she had.
It's not though.
Yeah,
I
but it's
mean,
not, and that's so.
she's voluntarily losing her family by acting the way she is. And honestly, I think even if this is true, I don't think she's gonna really stop going there. I think this is just like someone even said it. Go there. That comment.
This one's fucking sad. And I didn't even think about this, but Katie and Mel says she is just bullying her stepfather like her mother did before her. Yeah, I agree with you because it's clear that the husband wanted a dog. This is his stepdaughter, and his wife has allowed her narcissistic daughter to run the household, the house that is supposed to be his and hers, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it does kind of seem like the mother has been, in a way, bullying her husband because he wants a dog. So why should he not get a dog? Why? Because your kid doesn't want the dog?
Yeah, that doesn't even live there. I don't know. I think we've discussed this one.
All right, let's move on. All right, so this one is, am I the asshole for throwing dog shit away in an open trash can? I pulled this one because I have done this before. And so I'm on the fence as to whether or not, and I did read some comments. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it could be an asshole thing. I don't know. We'll see. So Reddit has deemed them the asshole.
But in fairness, not that many people even really comment.
Sure.
This is more obscure.
I like to pull some obscure ones too. I walk my dog twice a day. That's good of you. I don't. So that's good. Sometimes people have their city trash bins out by the road. Is this a British person?
That bins.
Yeah, because
maybe
Americans generally say can. Anyway, their city trash bins out by the road, left there after the city has come around and collected the trash. Occasionally, if I'm carrying dog poop, I'll throw the bag into one of these trash bins. I haven't really thought twice about it because, one, I've seen other dog walkers do it, and two, sometimes dog walkers do the same in our trash bin, and we really don't care. It's not like we even own the trash bin, and I'd rather have people throw away their dog shit than leave it on the street because they don't want to carry it.
Right.
So a few days ago, I threw away dog poop, and a guy down the street comes running out of his house. I guess he must have been watching me walk my dog, pick up dog shit, tie it in a bag, walk off with it, and then throw it away down the street, and starts yelling at me about throwing dog shit away in the trash bin on the sidewalk. So I'm asking, am I really the asshole? I'll stop doing it if I am, but I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Thanks. And then they say, okay, I'll accept that I'm an asshole. So some of the comments are, if the trash has already been collected, then you're the asshole. Homeowner throws their bag of trash in, doesn't realize the bag of poop is in the bottom. Bag of poop splits open. Now there's dog shit everywhere, and that smell does not go away. Seriously, stop it.
I mean, that's more like everyone sucks. I'll tell you why. Because yeah, that is possible. You could be trashing somebody's thing and making their trash bin or fucking trash
What if the
can.
trash is already full and they haven't been picked up for that day? So it's going to be picked up.
I mean, yeah, if it's going to be picked up, that's different. I just think like, you know, I've lived in communities where they had places to put your dog shit, like especially townhouses and stuff and apartment buildings. And they're a lot better about that. Now, neighborhoods and individual ones, not necessarily, but it does kind of suck to carry your dog shit for like a mile.
Yeah. So
I get that. So that really does suck. And if you want to be responsible looking after your dog, then obviously you want to do that. And look, I mean, if the bin is right there, the trash can is right there, it's pretty easy to say, fuck them, I'm going to toss it in there. And I've definitely done this.
I definitely rarely pick up my dog shit. So, and Am I the Asshole subreddit really hates people that don't pick up their dog shit, but I just have this for you. Okay. How about this? And they'll say some shit like, it'll get in the water, or, you know, what if a kid puts their face in it? I'm like, what? And also,
that
like,
kid's pretty fucking stupid
so,
if it goes up the dog shit and just shoves their face into it.
Now, explain to me, someone explain to me how dog poop is any different than any other animal's poop, and how it's going to get into the water, not be filtered, right? And then you somehow drink it and get sick. Riddle me that one.
Yeah, like, what's in my water?
Is this dog shit?
Oh, because,
it's dog shit.
What? I just drink dog shit. I can't believe it.
Okay, so I mean, I understand stepping in dog shit sucks or whatever, and I definitely do not try to let my dog like just straight up shit in people's yards. The majority of the time, I don't know, whatever. I'm just I don't really care. Scotty cares about. I remember you kept getting mad at a guy letting his dog shit by our mailbox. So I'm like, dude, we let people do it. I let the dogs do it. So
No, that guy was a piece of shit. That's
but he
totally
did it right by the mailbox, like middle of the yard, whatever. And here's the other thing too. There is something called an easement, right? You do not own the first 3
No,
feet,
let me explain.
3 to 5 feet
Let me
of
explain
your
why.
yard.
Let me explain why I did not like that dude. Let me tell you why. I'll make it very simple for you. Okay, he walked his little yipper up and down the street. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. Walk your dog wherever the fuck you want. But then he stops for my house. I'm in front of my house, so I'm not like away. You know, I'm not like something where it's like, yeah, they're not there. And he lets his little stupid dog shit right by my mailbox where I have to go get my mail. He looks right at me. His dog shits, and I look at him.
And he waved and smiled.
Yeah. No, he didn't wave and smile. He just looked. He kind of went, huh. And they kept walking. I was filled with rage. Literally was like considering going and like taking a baseball and bashing his skull in.
Over dog shit? Come on.
No, I was pissed. I was so fucking mad. Well, it was more the disrespect of like, he didn't even offer to like, let me clean this up. I've almost did the thing where it's like the person runs and like, if I'd have to grab shit, if I had like a little bit less, like, I guess, presence of mind, or I had a bag, I would have picked his shit up and thrown it at him. I would have fucking thrown the little fucking turd shit right at him and been like, don't fucking have your dog shit on my fucking goddamn lawn, you piece of shit. But if he had taken his dog shit, picked it up, and put it in my trash can, I don't think I would have said anything. I'd been like, well, whatever. He threw it away. So ultimately, I think everyone kind of sucks in this. But is the guy the asshole? Not really.
I once had somebody dispose of a roadkill cat in my can. Not cool. Okay, that's
a rotting animal.
that's fucking
okay.
gross.
No, David, I'm on your side on that one.
Yeah, that person is the asshole.
Like that's fucking completely disgusting. Just like, that's close enough. The dog shit, whatever.
If you're gonna pick up roadkill, bury the shit, please.
Yeah,
bury
something.
it. I mean, I've
Fuck.
had to pick up
At least eat it.
I've had to pick up roadkill before, and I mean, I buried it, so I don't see putting it in somebody's trash can is fucking gross. I don't get it. Kirk says, I don't get it either. I dog sat for a week and I never picked it up. Yeah, I don't care about it, so whatever. Johnny says, if I'm forced to mow it, I fucking own it. Eventually, I'm going to use this policy to annex the Christian school next door.
Please.
You actually don't own it, but I guess you are required to mow it. I studied to be a real estate agent, and it's called an easement. It's generally 3 to 5 feet, and that is so the city can, if you're in city limits or even your parish or county or whatever the fuck, it's so that they can do road work because you do not own your ditches. The city, or
if you have a ditch.
If you have a ditch. But a lot of people do, so they can do ditch work. So you don't own it. I'm sorry, but that's just a fact.
I mean, yeah.
I
mean, I get that. I don't own that land. That guy
the
had his
3
dog.
to 5 feet next to the road is not yours. So.
Yeah, but I don't want the dog shit in there still.
I don't care. I'm gonna let my dog shit there.
So, dude, if an asteroid fucking hits that guy and destroys his house, that's fine with me. That's completely fine with me. Let's move on to the next one.
Hold on 1 second. Oh shit!
Just click away from it. You
okay.
don't.
Am I the asshole for giving my dog's owner false hope and then ignoring their texts? This one's pretty sad. First time poster here, so apologize if I'm not doing it right. Also writing on a phone. So this happened a while ago, but it still bothers me occasionally. I adopted my pup when she was 6 from a local humane society after she was surrendered by a family that had her for 5 years. So the family that surrendered her is an asshole. So that's my opinion on that.
We don't know the circumstances.
She's my heart dog, but she had a lot of anxiety and fear of other dogs. They clearly didn't give her the life and the home she deserved.
Okay.
Anyway, for months, I kept saying, who would do this? Who would get rid of such a sweet baby? It drove me nuts. I said that if I ever see them, I'll give them a piece of my mind. Well, be careful what you wish for. A few months after adopting her and changing her name, I was sitting in a waiting room with her in my lap, scrolling through my phone, when I hear 2 people say, is that XXX, the former name? I look up at 2 people in shock and I tell them that they're right. They dropped on the sofa across from me and started crying. They said she used to be their dog, but they gave her up and it's the hardest thing they ever had to do. I was in complete shock. It was a small closed waiting room, so I let her down on the floor to see if she wanted to go say hi. She jumped on the guy and started licking his face, and she was so happy to see them. They kept asking questions about her and told me they were separating and that's why they gave her up. Okay, see, that's where this is because I read this last night.
Yeah, so far it's like the heart. It's like
They're an asshole. You're separating. Okay, so you're divorcing.
so
each
one of you
other.
takes the dog, right?
So one of you should take the dog.
Neither of us should.
Yeah. So y'all are assholes. Even though it's a crappy excuse to me, my heart broke and I told the guy, he seemed more attached, that if he wants, I can give him my cell number and I can send him updates on her. I also told them that she is loved and has a great life with us, and he cried and thanked me and excitedly wrote down my number. After they left, my pup was upset, and later on a walk, she was aggressive towards a passerby and tried to bite her ankle. Never happened before. And after that, she was really depressed. The guy texted me that night, but I was so upset for her that I ignored his messages and never replied. I think I might be the asshole for giving him my phone number and false hope. I meant to update him, but seeing my girl hurting made me mad, and I didn't even bother to write saying I changed my mind. It won't change anything now, but it just keeps bothering me. So am I the asshole? So
everyone here, it's another everyone sucks because
I'll tell you why.
Because she lied.
But
And look, the guy, you don't know the circumstances of their breakup, and maybe it was just impossible for whatever reason to keep the dog. So he gave the dog up. You know, it sounds like he was more attached. It was probably his dog, and obviously his ex-wife or whatever probably wanted nothing to do with the dog. Maybe she did. Who knows? But at the same time, the guy was like, okay, yeah, I'll keep you up. And she's like, tells this guy, look, I'll keep you up to date, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then tries to attribute some dog's later behavior to the fact that she saw the former owners. Like, how can you prove that's what caused that? It could have been the dog was simply being aggressive. Maybe the person got too close. This has never happened before, but it's the first time for everything, right? Guess what? Before someone's dog bites somebody else, a child or somebody else, you know what they always say? It's never happened before, right? Because it hasn't.
But shouldn't we take? Okay, so if we're gonna take all this to be true,
Look, I mean, like,
okay,
yeah,
'cause
obviously,
we don't know. But if
Right.
we're going to take all of this to be true, then what she's saying is the dog didn't act like this before. The dog was excited to see them.
right?
Now I think that that's a shitty reason to give up. I don't care what the reason is.
They were
Okay,
separating.
they're separating. If the reason is I'm getting an apartment and they don't allow dogs, get an apartment that allows dogs. Either way, you don't care about this fucking dog, okay? Because you gave it up. You didn't decide to make it work.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
that's why I believe everyone kind of sucks in this.
Now, I think that she doesn't suck because
Why
she
not?
said, I'll tell you why. Because she said before, she said she gave the phone number and she said that she would send updates. Okay. I don't think she lied because I don't think
She
that
did.
she Yeah, but was she
How did she not lie? Okay, let's
let's look at this.
let's break
did
this
she
down.
lie or did she make the promise in good faith? And I agree. I think this person made a promise in good faith. They saw how their dog acted afterwards, the dog being really depressed.
But they didn't. But
like
look,
right here.
but yeah, but we don't know what the circumstances for that is.
The
So
dog
got-
was super upset and aggressive when
So
the
how's
dog
that?
hasn't been that way.
So how? Okay, where's the causal link between seeing him and then acting this way?
Well, like I said, if we're going to take this to be true, then the dog never acted that way. Saw the owners, and I'm guessing was depressed because that'd be like you saw your family, you got taken away from your family, and then you see them, and now you're being taken away from them again.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that at all. So the guy texted me that night. I was so upset for her that I ignored this message and never replied. You know, what I think this is. I think she's worried that
They're going to try to get the dog.
that
I agree.
Yep, that's what this really. If this comes full circle, this is what this is really about. Her fear is beyond this. Oh, the dog attacked or whatever. Is that if these people know me? Oh well, yeah, she was really depressed and you know she seemed really sad afterwards. Oh, maybe we just have the dog back.
Exactly.
And she doesn't want to lose this dog. So really, that's why. So I mean, maybe it was made in a moment of like there was there maybe was a good faith promise. I don't know. I don't know how serious this person is or the sincerity behind that. We can't determine.
or maybe
that.
they didn't think, or maybe they just, I don't know.
Maybe it was in the moment they thought it'd be nice to do that.
nice to say it, but then maybe that person's not
But
actually
you
going to follow up.
but you should still say, hey, I changed my mind. I don't want to do that because you affected the dog when the dog saw you. I'm saying at least be honest about how you feel. Right.
Right.
I mean, and she didn't do it. So I think she at the very least, no, she doesn't have to give up the dog or anything. Like that's her dog. No, I don't think.
Let's see what some of these commenters say.
I don't think. Well, I'm not done.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So I don't think necessarily that means that she has to give up the dog, that she has to update the people about the dog or anything like that. But I think she becomes the asshole when she says she's not going to tell them. Like, oh, I changed my mind. Like, because why not? Just own up to what you want to do. Like, look, you gave up the dog. It's now my dog. I'm glad you got to see her. You know,
But I don't feel comfortable updating
but
you and
I'm
and,
worried about how that affects the dog. I think it affects the dog negatively,
and you.
and I just don't really want to be a part of this. I don't really want to do it. So I'm saying no, and that's it. And maybe it might be heartbreaking to the other party.
I think you should also change vets.
But guess what?
Also,
The guy also gave up the dog.
This is what I'm curious about.
So
I was
he has
sitting
no right.
in a waiting room with her in my lap scrolling. So what waiting room is she in that these two people are going in there? Is it a vet's office?
Well, if she's in a lab, maybe it's a small dog, and then it happened to be like a just a place where
You can bring dogs.
yeah, where you can bring. I don't know. It is kind of strange. So I don't know. I mean, like, but it's the problem with these is you never know. Obviously, we can always defer. Like, and look, she might be a total piece of shit, and these people might be fucking saints. And the circumstances she could be lying about. Maybe there was like the guy had bad health, and they were going to lose the dog, so the dog went to the pound, and she found him. And now the guy's health got better. It's like, oh my god, my dog that got taken from me because no one else was there to watch it. We don't know if she's telling the truth either.
Sure, we have to take this for what they're saying.
Well, yeah, but
though.
taking it based on this, I don't think she should have to give them the dog back or updates or anything like that. But I do think at the end of the day, you owe someone an explanation of why you're not going to do it. I don't think it has to be a lengthy one or anything like that. And it could just be a text message like,
I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
So that's why I think everyone sucks here. They gave up the dog, and she owes them an explanation. That's about it.
All right, so here's an
But doesn't owe them the dog.
Here's an asshole enthusiast saying, you'll be an asshole if you ghost them completely, but you can save this. Send them 1 or 2 really good pictures, but tell them after running into her previous owner, she had some behavioral issues that took a few days to go away. And while you understand they miss her, it is in her best interest to be totally separated, i.e. no contact through you. And if you start giving them regular updates, chances are they'll start to ask for play dates so they can solve a connection, which will result in chronic behavioral issues on your dog's part when you've worked so hard to help her anxiety.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Let's move on. This one is another one that was lower on there, but I really, this person is the asshole in my opinion, but let me just read it. Throwaway account, but in short, I, 25 male, don't want to get a pet dog with my partner, 25 female. We've been together for 4 years now, and overall, we've got a pretty good relationship. Both of us work full-time jobs, overall in a solid position. Last year, my partner all of a sudden decided she really wanted a pet dog and was fixated on the idea.
I want a dog, please. Nice little fluffy, floofy puppy, please.
She came from a dog family, whereas I came from a cat family.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Yeah, but listen, just wait, dude. This is, I like dogs, but I'm not obsessed about them as some people are. So anyways, we had multiple discussions about it and eventually settled on getting a pet cat. So we at least have a pet. It's interesting. So this dude doesn't really care about dogs, comes from a cat family. Okay. So he says to her, we can't get a dog right now. We'll get a pet cat. You know, the thing I want.
Yeah, we can do what I want, not what you want.
Right. Total compromise.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
And he goes on to act like this is a fucking compromise.
We'll keep
let's keep going. We had multiple discussions about it, eventually settled on getting a pet cat.
So we at least have a pet. So basically the wife is like
the partner.
Yeah, the partner is like, you know what? Okay. You know, as long as we can have a pet, I guess I'll be happy with that.
Okay, so they eventually settled on it in the near future, like in 4 months, after we had a really good think about it. Okay. You mean so you can manipulate her into getting what you want. Anyway, moving on.
We love Mr. Snugglekins. We could never have a dog. He's afraid of dogs. Yeah, you know, right.
Fast forward about 1 week, and my partner calls me up when I've just gone to sleep after a night shift and says she's at a cat's home with her friend and really likes a particular cat and wants it. I get up and go over and see the cat, and whilst I was a bit annoyed that she's gone ahead with the pet so quickly, after we initially decided to wait, I agreed because we were planning on one anyway. We got a lovely cat who both of us love, and I'm super happy we got him in the end. Fast forward to now, and my partner has again, somewhat suddenly, really wanted to get a pet dog again. That's not true.
Oh man, dude, I love this. So her desire, your partner's desire, never went away. This was to placate you.
Right.
This was basically to say, like, we did what you wanted. Now you're gonna do what I want. If you thought that someone wanted something like a dog, that just poof.
A cat's gonna fix it.
That's not gonna scratch
not
that itch. Yeah, it doesn't scratch that itch, dude. It's not going to.
That's like I want a horse, and Scotty's like, here's a goat.
Yeah, and so what happened with your partner is it's called playing the long game, because you thought, oh, everything is good. We got what I wanted. We did what I wanted. I can live with this. It's all been resolved. But in your partner's mind, it was, we'll get the cat, then we'll get the dog. So you could have saved yourself one pet if you just gotten the dog to begin with.
I love that though. Fast forward to now, and my partner has again, somewhat suddenly, really wanted to get a dog again.
It's suddenly to you because you'd put out of your mind.
Yeah, because you don't care.
As an issue.
It's clear you don't care what your partner wants. You wanted a cat, so you got one. I'm not very keen on the idea and told her that I really don't want to get a dog. We're living in rentals at the moment, and almost any rental where we're living has a no pets policy. It's not uncommon to sneak a cat in there as they're reasonably low maintenance and can keep them with a friend if there's a house inspection, etc. So you're living in rentals, right? And most of them have no pets policy. But it's curious that you can make all kinds of exceptions for the pet that you want.
It's not
right?
it's not uncommon to sneak a cat. You know, look, it's easy. You can do it's like you're saying there's a no pet policy, but you're totally fine breaking the pet policy
For the animal
to
you
have
want.
a cat because you want it. Look, let me tell you a little secret, buddy. Other than plenty of rentals too, and you know what? They all said no pets. You know what I said?
We have 5 animals.
I said I don't give a shit, and I just had a dog. I had 2 dogs, anyways. And you know what they did? Nothing.
Not a fucking thing.
Because look, it's bullshit. Because once they realize I'm not going to destroy their property, and I actually make sure my pets don't destroy the place where I live either, even if it is a rental, it's not a fucking problem. Now, yeah, maybe depending on like if it's an apartment or something, you can't have 5 fucking pets. But I had a house, but just giving you an example.
I love how he says he's a cat family dude. I grew up in a cat family, but love doggos. I have one myself. Yeah, I don't get that.
But the
point.
thing is, too, is like you can't say you care about this as a rule, and then basically explain how breaking the rule is fine.
For you.
Yeah,
For you.
like for your circumstance, like you don't give a fuck about the pet policy. Just stop trying to make that because that's obviously what this guy is saying in his argument. Well, it's against the rules. Like, do you really give a fuck about this
You don't give a
rule?
fuck about the
It's
rule.
your fucking house to begin with. I mean, like, yeah, I know you're renting it, but you fucking live there. That motherfucker that's renting it doesn't fucking live there. As long as you ain't trashing it and you're gonna be responsible, having 1 dog and 1 cat ain't destroying a house. Unless you're just a piece of shit.
So let's go to the next part. I've explained that I don't want a dog as it's much harder to sneak into rentals. Not true, but whatever. As well as us both working full time. I'm a junior doctor. She's working full time in an office.
No, that's actually a better argument. If you want my
That's a
opinion.
better argument, but you have a cat. Okay. So
So
you're saying that this dog will be sad, but the cat is not sad? I don't get it.
Also,
and there are plenty of people that work-
but you think like your partner wants to. It's like if your partner really wants that, it's like, well, you can put the dog in dog daycare and stuff and make sure the dog's life is happy.
yeah, to use your lunch to go let the dog out.
Well, there's people that do that. They just take their dogs every day before they go to work, and when they come home, they pick up their dogs. So the dog's just not
Yep.
being bored all day. And it sounds like they're both doing pretty well. He's a junior doctor. She works full time. It seems they don't have any kids. It seems like that's
Dog
feasible.
daycare is not that much. We've looked into it. It's just my dog has nuts, so nobody wants to. Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on. Us not having tons of
Hey,
expendable income at
Look,
the
these
moment.
two heard about. We're talking about you guys.
Oh, can they see them?
We're talking about how evil you are.
There they are. Gross, disgusting.
Disgusting mongrel. You're barely trained.
They only care for you because you feed them. Sorry, I'm trying to get it. There we go.
No, they just want dinner. You want dinner, huh?
I just want dinner. All right. She's working, blah, blah, blah. The main reason that I just really would not like a pet dog. I've explained that in the future, I'd be happy to have a dog.
Lie.
Yeah, I love the future.
Lie.
The future.
Lie.
Way of the future.
This is okay. Look, this is what every guy says when they don't want to do something. So let me just say, let me just say as a dude, and I'm not saying I mean, like this is inclusive of every male experience, but generally when a guy says in the future, that means they're just trying to weasel out of it now.
Forever.
Yeah, as long as they humanly can. That's usually what that means in my experience.
Well, I mean, I want a horse, and you've talked about it in the future, but that's because they are, in a lot of ways, prohibitively expensive. Okay. But this whole in the future thing with a dog, there are plenty of dogs that are the size of a fucking cat.
Okay,
So
you
tell
have to get
her,
a small dog.
You have to get a small dog.
Something.
Okay. Yeah. Or you have to get an older
Eh,
dog that's already potty trained, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, there's caveats you could put into saying like, hey, let's have a small dog so it's easy to take care of and easy to feed and cheap to feed and all this. Like, I can even get that, but just saying no in general, there's dogs that are smaller than cats.
Here's the fucking thing, dude. All right. Let's mention this fucking fact. Why does your partner, okay, who also works full time, why does your partner have to ask your fucking permission?
Well, because they live together.
Okay, sure, fine. But at the end of the day, why are you getting to say no to a grown ass person?
Probably because the issue affects them both.
Okay. Well, then just say this. Look, we live together. I really don't want the dog. You're going to have to pay for it out of your own money, and I don't want to have to take care of the dog. But it's your decision. You're an adult.
Right. I mean,
Do you see what I'm saying?
that's probably the most.
That's the
probably
most rational thing to me.
That's probably the most egalitarian way to look at it. I
Hey,
would say.
I'm not going to clean up after your dog.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
want
gonna
nothing
take
to do
out.
with it.
I
Yep.
don't want anything to do with it. Okay. Now you're going to change your mind because you're going to like the dog. But anyway, let's keep going. So they've explained that in the future they want a dog, likely when we're on our own property, more financially stable, etc. But my partner is adamant. She keeps sending me photos of puppies for sale and wants me to come see them, but I've said no. She's been saying how unfair it is, awful it is that we aren't compromising, and that it's just me. It's just what I say without me compromising at all.
Sounds like it.
I feel like as it's a new change addition to our budding family, that it's something we shouldn't do unless we all agree on, but sort of understand where she's coming from. I've also explained that we did compromise before on this decision and got a cat.
You didn't
which I
compromise.
want. My partner is now quite upset, doesn't want to hang out, doesn't want to talk. I feel like I'm not the asshole, but I'm unsure, and I feel like I may be
All
missing
right.
some perspective on
Look,
this.
I don't think you're a terrible person for saying you should wait on it, but you didn't. But you're being dishonest. You never compromised. You got what you wanted, and maybe it was foolish of her to agree to that. Because honestly, I think what the hope was that by giving you what you would want, she would ultimately get what she wanted. But it sounds like that's not the case. So
You're gonna love the comments, though.
I mean, could it be a deal breaker in the relationship? Maybe. I mean, I guess it depends on if she can live without having that in her life.
Listen to this shit. Not the asshole. You don't have to have a pet dog if you don't want one. It's
Right,
ki-
but
it's
but,
kind
but
of
no,
a-
wait. But she's asking for a pet dog.
Right,
So
you don't have
so
to
number
have
one,
one.
she's not saying he has to have a pet dog. So that's not true. So let's dismiss that. That's not even what it's saying. No, you have to now saying you don't want to live with the dog. Yeah, he would have to live with the dog.
I just want you to know that the upcoming comments are complete misogyny. So just wait for it. It's kind of unfair of her to keep pushing you on it. To the person who said you got what you wanted, a cat, it seems like your girlfriend was pushing for it more, especially when she wanted one way sooner than you'd agreed upon.
I agree to that.
Also, if you're both out of the house often, the dog may not receive the attention he or she deserves. The only rational point to any of this, by the way. I don't know. I just don't think you're an asshole for not wanting a dog. So then we go into this.
But yeah, well, we've already addressed that. There's doggy daycare. I mean, like if you think that's ridiculous, but I mean, some so there's certain dogs that does benefit them, and a lot of people do that. So they're worried about their dog receiving enough attention and care when they're not there, and it's an option. So it's not like there's nothing that can be done.
Girlfriend wanted a pet.
Right.
OP compromised with a cat that's easier to hide. That's not the reason why I
Nope.
compromised.
That's not a compromise.
Sorry, that's not a compromise.
The compromise.
He even said, I came from a cat family.
That's what I wanted.
I don't really like dogs. I really wanted a cat.
So Op basically got what they wanted.
Girlfriend found a cat. Excuse me. Girlfriend found a cat totally without OP and made it impossible for OP to say no because she was with the cat at that moment. Nope, not true.
How was it made impossible? He could have said no. Like, look, we agreed 4 months. No.
Girlfriend left OP out of the cat selection process entirely, even though the cat is supposed to be a shared pet.
I agree with that,
Sure.
actually. I mean, I think that she should have, but I mean, it sounds like you're also the guy that posted this sounds like the kind of person that would never have done it if she hadn't basically tried to force his hand, though.
Right.
I will say that, but does that make it right? No, it doesn't.
Girlfriend realized her strategy worked the first time. She's starting the process all over again. And then it gets into this is a
could see that.
preview of what an OP's life could look like if he chooses to stay with his girlfriend long term. So again, Reddit is I love Reddit because if
Let me
there is-
extrapolate.
if there's any kind of problem in a relationship, break up, end it right now. Honestly, my first thought was, how will this conversation go if they decide to discuss having children? Like, what if girlfriend wants kids and OP doesn't? No one should be harassed about something they've already said they're not interested in. Okay, well, kids and pets are different. So, especially when it comes to the care of a living being, child or pet animal, protect yourself, OP. Okay. The cat was a backdoor way of demanding to get a dog.
Yeah, I actually do agree with that. I'm not saying that he's not the asshole though, but I do think it was a backdoor way of eventually getting what you wanted. Yeah.
What she's doing is emotional manipulation.
Yeah, I agree.
Blah.
Yet again, I think everyone here sucks. I think they're both the asshole because I can definitely see some of the perspective there. I think there is emotional manipulation going on her part,
I think there's from him too.
but I think also, yeah, I think it's a two-way street, you know. And ultimately, maybe these people shouldn't be together because if they don't agree on a big enough big issues,
This
that
is the
can be a
biggest
deal
part.
breaker.
This
Because
is the biggest part to me, though, right here. My partner all of a sudden decided she wanted a pet dog. Came from a dog family, came from a cat family. I like dogs, not obsessed with them. So we had multiple discussions, eventually settled on getting a pet cat. Cat family, pet cat.
also in the near future, after we had a really good think about it, like what do you have to think about? Either you want to do something, or you don't. This isn't like buying a house or like some huge obligation the rest of your life. Like
Right.
you're
That's why
getting, you're
that's why
getting
I
a
was
cat.
like, you know, the bullshit down there.
I have
with
3
the-
cats. Do you think I thought I had to think about like owning them for like a long? Like I did. Like yeah, I did. Did I think about when we got Manson? Like do we think about going to get him and stuff like that? Yeah, we made a plan. We discussed it. We talked about it. But it wasn't like this monumental life earth-shattering decision. And like it hasn't been a big deal to own him ever since. He mostly likes to go sleep on a bed and jump on his cat tree. Like he doesn't give a fuck what I do 24/7. So it's not like a big deal to own a cat. Like so it sounds like this guy and this basically this is two people that ultimately sound like they're going to be incompatible. Now, does that necessarily mean it's true? No, we don't know the full circumstances and context of the relationship.
Yeah, it's just about this one thing.
But yeah, if you see two people line up, they're diametrically opposed on a bunch of issues in their lives. Maybe it's not the best, especially if like because I get the point too of like, hey, she keeps asking, we say no. But if someone really wants something, isn't persistence usually a trait of people that getting what they want? So yeah, I agree. Maybe it would be wrong to get a dog together because ultimately maybe this doesn't last.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Let's go back and look at some of the comments. Jigroth says compromise and get a mule.
Well, I don't say that's a compromise, but
House inspection meaning no pets. Right. Exactly. That's why it doesn't make any sense. Susie says vile creatures. What vile creatures? Cats? Dogs?
they're the people that why the
Taylor has a good NPR voice.
thank you, Taco Face Fart.
I love the profile picture. What is an NPR voice?
Like the hey everyone, another edition of Am I the Asshole for Not Wanting to Get a Pet here? And we're gonna discuss a little situation between a man and his partner.
Oh, when you talk like that, it's very soothing. I really like that.
That's the NPR voice.
Well, keep talking to me like that, please. Scotty, get Taylor
Yeah,
a
it's a
miniature
good
horse.
look. It's a compromise. You want a horse? I got you a miniature horse. It's like half a horse. If I get you, how about I get you 2?
Oh,
2
no.
miniature horses equal 1 regular horse, right?
She's only staying with him because he's a doctor. The withdrawal means she's about to cheat. I don't know if this is a joke or not. I hope it is.
It could, you know, you never know.
Maybe so. Scotty buying Taylor a horse should be the next Onion Nuggets goal.
Please-
I also
please-
agree.
Please, no,
please.
please no. Don't
Begging.
do it to me.
Okay, more NPR. Nope. Jersey says hi.
Hi.
Jersey says just let the bitch get a dog. I agree.
Let's let the bitch get a dog. Come
Tyra
on.
says cats are pretty low maintenance. You
They
haven't
are.
met my cat. Okay. I have a cat that is elderly and pees all over herself.
but let me tell you
so-
something. We had Pippin. When do we get Pippin? I'm trying to figure out the exact. So we had Pippin maybe at 19 years. We had Pippin. I'm talking about when I was a kid with my mom and Steve. We had Pippin for 19 years and never had any of the problems like Farrah. I mean, Pippin did get sick at the end of his life. I mean, he was old though.
Well, Farah is also, I mean, she's kind of unique because I found her at school and she's a purebred
Okay.
Siamese.
All right. Well,
And they're inbred.
look,
you know.
excuse me. Let me answer that.
Look.
This is how Steve found Pippin. He's told you the story. My stepdad Steve, how we got Pippin, which I wish we had some pictures. You know, one day I'll show you guys a picture of Pippin because he was a great cat. He really was. Indoor, outdoor cat in Louisiana too, which I don't know how the fuck he lived as long as he did. Fucking little sucker. But my stepdad Steve was driving down the road, and he saw I think it was like a trash bag or like a pillowcase or something, and he saw it was and thought it was moving. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" So he pulls over, gets out of his truck, and he goes to look. He looks in the bag, and it's a bunch of dead kittens. And he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "What the fuck?" You know, like he's one of those guys that he's like Mr. Tough Guy, but really, you know, let's put it this way: like he's got a soft spot for animals, especially like these cats in this case. So he feels really bad, but the bag is moving. He's like, well, how could they're just dead? There's one little kitten that was alive, and it was Pippin. The cat we went on to have for night. It was a little kitten. He took it. I think actually said he took to McDonald's and got like a cheeseburger and like fed it some. he fed Pippin like a little cheeseburger and shit.
That's so cute.
Because Pippin was starving. I mean, like, and they of course took him to the vet and all that stuff. And we had Pippin for years and years and years. Like I said, we had Pippin for 19 years. Great cat. But like, so I mean, just like the circumstance of getting Pippin is special too. But he never had those kind of problems. And he was an indoor-outdoor cat in Louisiana in the damn swamp, Taylor. So I don't want to hear your shit about your cat. I don't want to hear nothing about your cat.
My cat has arthritis and
Your cat's a little shit.
Okay.
Your cat's a little shit.
My cat is a shit, but she's also sick. Okay.
Yeah,
So
she is sick in the head.
Susie has the people are the vile creatures. She's updated us.
Yeah, I thought. Look, we're already in the same.
Hottie Scotty.
We're simpatico.
John Luke, go lay down.
Everyone should just have a la petite little lap giraffe, no?
Smooth as butter, that man's voice.
Smooth as butter.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. So this one is a advice column.
This is our final one, huh?
Yep, there is. Yep, that's it.
This is the last one, guys.
Because my dog has to go to the bathroom, so that's pretty good.
He's got to pee some face.
So Scotty wanted some advice stuff, and I found this one. And
We started with advice. Now we're ending with some more bad advice. I mean, not my advice, but Taylor's advice. Terrible. Look, believe me, I know advice. Look, this guy, Scotty, terrific advice, best advice, never the wrong advices. TJ, his brother, may have heard of him. Terrible guy, terrible advice. Doesn't know shit. Doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Doesn't know a Coke from a Diet Coke. Okay.
So this one
Can I have a Diet Coke, please? Where's my Diet Coke button? I'm waiting for that Diet Coke. No, I didn't say. Look, dog. I didn't say to bark. I said Diet Coke. The Diet Coke, not bark. See these dog-free people got a point. Never had a dog. Terrible animals.
Neighbors keep upsetting family's dog. Carolyn Hacks readers give advice.
Oh shit.
Okay, so this one, on the face of it, you'll think, God, I feel for these.
Yeah, so these neighbors.
These neighbors really suck, right?
Yeah, like why do they keep upsetting the family's dog?
Yeah, a lot of these I haven't let Scotty read them because I wanted to get his initial reaction.
And look,
I
I
think you're
want
gonna
to point out this is fake news. It's the Washington Post, owned by Bezos, terrible owner, perhaps one of the worst CEOs of all time. That's why he had to step down from Amazon after he screwed the American public, screwed the Postal Service. It's terrible. So just I'm not surprised you picked a terrible company owned by perhaps one of the worst owners in history. Look, I was a terrific owner. My company's big money all the time, success, you name it, we did it. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to me again. Thank
Okay.
you.
No, thank you. WK Builder says, neighbors upsetting dog, dump your husband.
Right.
I know.
Divorce your husband. Strangle your children. Move to a foreign land. Whoa.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, damn. I can go back up. Oh, what? I want to see
Sorry.
what do you like to go with Domino's Pizza? Now I have some stupid thing about saving on my no fucking prescription for Ribelsis. How do you say it? Is it a V or a Y?
Ribelsis.
Ribelsis. What does it even do? Why are you advertising a fucking prescription drug to me, you piece of
They
shit?
are for adults with type 2 diabetes. Along with diet and exercise, you can get.
So lose some fucking weight is what I'm
Anyway,
hearing.
we're going to get to the story. Dear Caroline, my family lives at the end of a short cul-de-sac in a small
Oh
neighborhood.
shit, cul-de-sac people.
They're cul-de-sac people.
Oh,
I
no,
told
they're
you're gonna love
cul-de-sac
this.
people. Yes.
You're going to love this. You're going to love it. There's rarely a reason for anyone to walk past our house, which is good because our dog cannot stop herself from barking hysterically anytime she sees a human being who is not part of the family.
Okay, that was like my dog Hercules. He was a little Maltese. He did the same fucking shit. Luckily, he was small, so he couldn't see out any windows. But yeah, anyone that came over he didn't know, same behavior. So I understand.
A new family moved into the neighborhood about a month ago. Every morning, after dropping the kids off at the school bus, the parents walk around the neighborhood, including our little cul-de-sac. The dog is inconsolable until we let her out to bark at them in person. We have an invisible fence, so there's no danger of her getting hurt. She doesn't calm down for a long time. This is annoying for us and our next door neighbors. So I asked the walkers to please cut our cul-de-sac off their route. They said they understood, but they have continued to walk past our house and upset
All
our
right.
dog.
So
I know
here,
not everyone is an animal lover, so how can I convince them to leave our poor dog alone?
no, let me explain something to the person writing to Dear Carolyn. They said they understood.
They didn't say they would.
So let
do
me let me explain something to you. When people tell me things I don't agree with a lot of the time, you know what I say to them? I understand, because it's a way of saying I get what you're saying and I hear what you're saying. But it's the way of not saying I agree with what you're saying. You don't own the fucking cul-de-sac. You live in a house in the cul-de-sac. And I understand you probably like that because not much reason to come by there. These people are innocently walking through the neighborhood, going on a walk. You have no right to dictate where they walk and where they don't walk. Your dog barks, put your fucking dog up. If you know they're going to walk in the morning, put your dog up in the morning. But also, your dog isn't entitled to bark at everybody. You're not entitled to fucking control where people walk. Your dog sounds like a fucking nuisance. So at the end of the day, you have to be the one to take action and say, my dog gets upset. What should I do? Keep leaving it outside?
Put the dog up.
It's listen, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You sound insane, because ultimately you're expecting a different outcome, and then try to say, well, they're new here. So shit changes, so they can't walk by your cul-de-sac, and then you go and talk to them. They probably think you're fucking crazy. Your dog barks a lot, so could you not walk around here because we don't want the dog to get upset. Thanks. And they go, we understand. And they keep doing it because they don't agree, but they don't have a confrontation with you. They're trying to be respectful, but at the same time, letting you know that you don't dictate what they do with their lives. So you have no right to dictate what they're doing, and they have no right to dictate you not putting your dog up. But guess what? They didn't come up to you and say, hey, you really need to put your dog up when we walk by your house. Okay, could you do that for us? That'd be great. Because you know what? I'd be on your side then. Everyone's got to learn to fucking get along. If they're going to live in this neighborhood and walk after they drop off their kids, guess what? Put the dog up for a fucking hour. And when they're done doing it, put the dog back out. What a fuck, I'm a genius.
What I think is interesting is that she has actually rewarded her dog's behavior for doing this. So she knows that the people drop their kids off the school bus.
Yeah, she knows the routine.
And that she knows their routine. And that this couple, after dropping their kids off, the couple then walks around the whole neighborhood, enjoying themselves, enjoying their neighborhood. What a fucking travesty.
How dare they?
So your dog barks out at the window because they can see them, and you reward that dog by letting it out every time these people walk by.
Right.
So at what point do you think your dog is going to stop doing this behavior? When you are rewarding it by letting it go outside. So you've already sold yourself here. You bought a house at a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, you're a cul-de-sac person.
You're a cul-de-sac person.
Which, if you don't know what that means, it's people like this.
Okay, that's
some
people
reason-
that stand out in their yard and they want to see everybody who's driving in their little cul-de-sac.
Why you come back here? It's a cul-de-sac. You even said it. There's rarely a reason for anyone to walk past our house. So what you're basically saying is that, like, unless you live on the cul-de-sac, you view everyone that comes there as illegitimate, unless they have an express purpose, like I deliver mail, or I deliver a package, or I deliver food.
Why do you think you have more of a right to privacy than people who don't live in a cul-de-sac? You're not any
I don't
different than
know.
them. You're not any different than any other person in that neighborhood. You just live at the end of a street.
Cuckoo.
That's it.
Cuckoo.
Okay? Because it would be fucking batshit crazy for someone at any other well, I think you're crazy anyway, but you would think they're crazy if any other person were to say this. Don't walk past my house. Well, I have to walk past your house. Right?
Well, we live in a cul-de-sac. There's no reason to walk by.
There's
our
no
house.
what did she say? There's no
Do-
real reason.
Does someone need a reason to walk by your house if they're simply walking around the neighborhood as part of the route? Yeah, I agree. Do they?
And that's interesting too. There's rarely a reason. Why do they have to have a reason
Yeah.
to walk past your house?
Does everyone need a reason for everything they do? I mean, here's the reason. They want to walk that route. Maybe it's just like part of like them getting this certain amount of steps in. And yeah, could they?
And how do they know they walk around the whole neighborhood? So you you live close enough that you can see them drop off their kids at the school bus. So they live down the street from you. So they're walking the length of their street and then going home, right?
Who knows?
How do you know they're walking around the whole neighborhood? And why are you watching them drop their kids
Yeah,
off?
and then it's saying avoid our street because we have an issue.
They live on your street. That's what it sounds like.
I don't even know. These people sound beyond ridiculous. What's next?
I mean, you can.
Oh, it's just people responding.
Yeah. In short, you can't. No matter how upsetting it is to your dog, they have a right to stroll past your house. You
Right.
can't change their behavior to protect your dog. First, it seems like their walks are fairly predictable. Bring your dog into a room without a view of the street.
Right? Okay.
Wow, like moron shit. You can try a long-lasting chew. Blah blah blah. So anyway, hiring a qualified dog trainer because your dog isn't
Oh, okay.
trained.
I thought there was more questions, so it's just responding to this.
You clearly sympathize with your dog and want to reduce her stress with it, which is both understandable and admirable. What I find notable, however, is how quick you are to point fingers at the new neighbors for not changing their own actions off of your property
Right.
to accommodate your pet instead of you trying to train or help your pet to get over her excessive barking around strangers. If you try to look at it from their perspective, they have moved into a new neighborhood, and within a month, one of their neighbors is taking them to task for taking a walk on public property in their own neighborhood.
Right.
If your dog is barking excessively and the next door neighbors are upset about it, then your dog is the cause of the problem, not the neighbors. So
it's astonishing how like basic things had to be explained to people. It's like, this is actually your fault. I know it's hard to accept this, but this is your fault.
Yep.
It's not the fault of the people walking around. It's not the fault of the fucking goddamn Catholic Church, though maybe in some roundabout way it is. It's your fault. Because guess what? You're fucking wrong! That's all we got for you guys tonight. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll be back soon. Probably this week with a public one. Who knows, though? Stay tuned.